You sure took a long time to hit record.
Yeah.
You missed the gist of the entire conversation.
okay.
And now we're starting. And here we go.
Yep, we're into it. It's happening.
It's happening right now.
Low energy dude.
Low energy. We just completely we missed the shot.
And we were talking about
Take the
Dr. Seuss
shot!
cheating on his wife. That would have been interesting.
Yeah, it would have been. It would have been, but somebody
it's
took
too
too
late.
long. Somebody said, "Just keep talking. I'm going to hit record," and then
Right.
didn't hit record.
I sure did.
And then we didn't. We finished the
did.
thought.
You just abruptly finished the thought to spite me.
No, I didn't.
Yes,
you just
did.
took too long to
No,
get to the button.
No, you didn't.
Oh, Dave. Here we go again. Hey, everybody, how's it going?
Dudecast.
It's another dude cast. It's another dude day. Good morning. Good afternoon. We were just listening to the long shot.
Yeah,
so
right.
I'll
It's so
honor-
tempting to do the good afternoon, good evening,
Good morning, good morning, good day, good dawn, good dusk,
good dusk, good desk.
good desk. Welcome.
No, some of those jokes are just now in my head forever.
Oh, yeah.
and they
Love the long shot.
Yeah, and no one else will ever figure out what they are because
From an undisclosed
pretty
location
dead.
high in the Hollywood Hills, it's time once again for the long shot tonight. Yeah, it was like a show that I think only had like a maximum listenership of like 4,000 people at its peak.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it didn't have a ton. Well,
how
probably.
the hell did we find it?
I don't know. Eddie Pepitone.
Probably Pepitone. No, definitely Pepitone.
Because he was on Maron's show a
right,
lot.
that was what it was. Yeah, we all joined and listened for Eddie, and we stayed for
Sean and Jamie and Amber.
yeah. Especially Amber, the chocolate in the chili
bowl,
pot.
the light at the end of the tunnel, the
Miss Amber Kenny, ladies and
Miss
gentlemen.
Amber Kenny, the human.
Why don't we
Mistake, Mr. Jamie Flummox.
Why don't we just do the long shot?
We could,
instead of this show?
we could do the log shot right now. Except Ben doesn't know anything about.
I don't really know.
Yeah, we could do it.
That'd be a weird podcast where the whole time Ben was just like, right.
Yeah, right. That's fine. We did a vastly
I agree.
superior podcast. Anyway, how's it going, everybody? We're happy. We're happy that you're listening to us.
You know,
We've been doing this for almost 6 years.
Yeah, more than 6, right? Well, no, we're
no.
in the 6th season, so almost.
Well, yeah,
6.
it's been 6 years.
Yeah.
We did the YouTube shit before that for a while. So
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it constantly amazes me that we've managed to somehow continually do this thing. Barely, but we're still doing it. It's
Right.
still on the tape. We still have this studio.
Right.
Studio set up. It looks like if you took a picture of this on the gram, it looks like a real studio.
It does
sort
look
of.
real from like one specific angle.
Yeah,
of this
it
room,
looks legit.
It looks like a real
We
studio.
have foam up on the walls.
but like only
but-
3/4 of them.
Right, but there's like a big open space over here.
Yeah, right. It's like it's like if you're
It's like half a studio.
if a studio was also just kind of smashed in with like a
Yeah.
disused rec room or something,
Yeah.
Right.
And there's like like a treadmill that hasn't been walked on in 3 years.
You believe we used to cut this show on one shitty microphone?
Yeah,
That was crazy.
yeah. Go back and listen to the first season.
No, dude,
how bad
actually,
it is.
go ahead and don't do that.
Listen
It
to
was
the
bad.
second episode, which we recorded on a laptop mic by
Yeah,
accident.
Yeah, that was my fault. My bad.
No, I think it was my fault.
No, it was definitely me because
sure?
I'm the one who set it up. Because we were recording it on fucking Audacity.
Oh my god.
Yeah, dude.
Were we really?
Yeah, we
Oh
were
my
recording
God.
it on. We were cutting the.
Yep.
And it wasn't even in this room. It was just at the bar at the end of your basement.
Yeah,
so,
right.
yeah.
Yeah. So
Those were good times.
they were good times, but they were not good podcasts.
They were poor. They were poor quality podcasts.
Somewhere around the third quarter of season 2, we started to hit our stride.
Yeah.
Which is not very
Which only
fast.
lasted like 2 or 3
Yeah.
episodes, and then it was
downhill from there, baby. we just
Hey, we still got the hits. We still got the classics. We got Dean Cain.
we got Dean Cain,
Yeah.
we got McDouble Watch.
McDouble Watch.
We
Tim
got
the Jobs
Tim
Man
the
Taylor.
Jobs Man Taylor.
How do you think that went over with all the people at your wedding who had no idea what the reference to the McDouble was?
Yeah.
I was not sure if that was going to work, but it got a laugh
Got
for
a
the
laugh.
first part,
Yeah.
but not for the. No one knew what the McDouble was.
Doesn't
about.
matter. I think people recognize the fact that it's bullshit that you have to pay $2.50 for a McDouble.
Yeah.
You know what? I went through this ritual again.
Yeah?
It's more than $2.50
Are you fucking kidding me? They
there's-
raised it
There's
again?
inflation
because it's
now.
$2.79 for one.
Come on.
But then for an additional $1, you get 2. So then that's $3.79.
That's bullshit.
Divided by 2 is 180 something, 190
Sure.
something.
Yeah.
That's whatever you're talking about for you. I don't know. I'm not a math guy. No.
Forehead. Did you call me forehead?
No, but
I thought I heard you say, yeah, whatever you're talking about, forehead. That's what I thought you said. Yeah, well, I don't know.
we don't have
forehead.
our notebooks. We need our notebooks, bro.
Right.
So I can document that your new nickname is Forehead.
Yeah.
Forehead.
Really, what I thought you said.
Hey, here's Christy's ticket.
Oh, is that hers?
Maybe this is mine.
I put it in that notebook because I thought it was yours.
I don't fucking.
Ben, you want a piece of paper? You want a notebook?
I'll take notes on my phone.
Piece of candy.
Okay. Oh, piece of cake. Boy, we started off without even being ready. Consequently, I cannot find my actual notebook.
Gurgle, bedurgles, haggles, giggles.
Oh, here we go. This is
Some
your
shit,
shit.
man.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
I knew by the illustration that had to be you.
Oh man, this is some background. We don't have pens though.
They're all over there on that table.
Oh well, I guess I should get them. Guys,
Ah!
guys, stall for time because
Okay.
I'm technically hosting them. Oh, great stall.
what was I watching last night that had something to do
I don't know.
with Las Vegas. Oh, we watched Ocean's 11 last night.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I haven't seen it in years. And it's still.
Yeah, it's fun. Both of them, all three of them actually are pretty fun.
I haven't watched any of them. I don't think.
Oh,
Not a one.
Poison. Pick your poison there, gents.
Alrighty, season 6, episode 3.
Oh, taking notes.
Taking notes.
So anyway,
Forehead.
forehead.
Yeah, whatever you're talking about, forehead.
That's funny.
It is funny, but I don't know quite why. Is it just like an egghead joke? Is it like
I don't. You know what? It's because it's like it's such a specific insult. Like, yeah, whatever, forehead. Like that's your identifying trait,
Right.
Which you don't have like an abnormally large
yeah.
forehead.
But I guess I have kind of a.
You have a prominent
have a
forehead.
prominent
Well, that's
forehead.
just because you're going bald. You
Right,
can't
slowly but
the
surely.
forehead is just extending larger and larger.
How bad do you think my male pattern baldness is at this point?
not.
It's not.
No?
It's not. Yeah.
Is it because it feels like it keeps pushing back, but not like because my hair is like falling out, but maybe because I'm ripping it out.
The thing is, if you get to 40, I think you're in the clear, dude.
Yeah, if I get to 40 without like a noticeable like if it doesn't start to do the the peninsula.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where the sides go all the way back and
You get
just
the
have-
like Michael Stipe early 90s
Yeah.
REM look.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah,
is not
right.
good. But anyway,
There's a lot of ways you could bald that are like unfortunate.
yeah. What are some other classic bits that we fucking we always apologize to different groups of people that
true.
we insult.
Our
Entire
classics,
nations.
like the
With
Mr.
apology.
Everest.
Yeah, Mr. Everest.
Mr. Everest
That was funny.
good. Philip the giant who sits in the ocean.
Yeah.
Just like, don't touch me.
We had a pretty good Trump thing going.
The mop.
The mop.
Trump and his mom.
Well, there's more. We just did that accent for like years.
yeah, right.
We're still working on the Biden one.
Yeah.
Come on, man. I think
Come on, man.
I think
The presidential boner coke episode was
Yeah.
the peak of the Biden impression.
yeah.
That was really, really fun.
I think he might be tapped though. We might need to get some new blood in the White House.
Well, yeah. Honestly.
You don't say.
Where's Mitt Romney? Let's get Mitt Romney's ass in there.
You know what? I feel like Mitt Romney is inherently unfunny.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
just hard to laugh at because he's just he has so little personality.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, that's.
I don't think he's a bad dude. Though.
No.
Mormons for you.
Yeah.
It's just some Mormon shit,
Yeah,
maybe? I don't know.
Some Mormon
Not
shit.
Bad per se. They're just boring.
Yeah.
I watched an interesting video recently, and it was like Brigham Young University students and like these
BYU.
other students going around and asking them kind of like ordinary questions to check how much they know about like Brigham Young, for example.
Oh yeah, the 40-something odd wives, and yeah.
Well, someone asked, something like, oh, here's this quote, and you can determine, or you tell me whether it was Robert E. Lee or Brigham Young. And it was, in general, it was a statement in defense of slavery. And I guess you can imagine from context who said it, right?
Right, yeah.
And, of course, lots of sad Mormon kids being like, wow, I don't know what to do about that.
Well,
like, the funniest response to this
used to be a tenet of Mormonism that people of color
they were not allowed to be elders or maybe even members.
They weren't even allowed to be members originally. Native Americans, I think, got the exception because they were some of the first people that Joseph Smith preached to.
Right.
I mean, to be fair, I can't imagine a single black person who would want to be a Mormon.
It's a real white religion.
It's a very white religion.
Yeah. I mean, like, not exclusively, but like, I guess it was.
Yeah.
It's, until they took the gates off the thing and said, okay, black people, you can have a planet.
Yeah.
You can have a planet.
And then, like, for some reason, like, LDS is different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Somehow.
I'm not exactly sure.
I think they're supposed to be like a little more progressive or something.
Well, the LDS is like the official. They're the pinnacle, right?
Yeah, they're like
they are Mormonism right now.
They're like the Holy Catholic Church of like the Roman Catholic Church of Mormonism.
But there's like the FLDS, which is Warren Jeffs and his father's.
Is it the fundamentalist? Latter-day Saints?
Yeah. They're the ones with the compounds. You ever watch the TV show Big Love? That's basically what that show's based on.
If you're the kind of Mormon that's going to get raided by the ATF, you're probably
compounds,
an FLDS.
right?
Yeah,
which exists. There's lots of them out there. Compounds that have their own individual prophets. Where you know what I mean? Like it's nuts. It's the fucking wild.
It's like everything else. There's a shocking number of like Protestant offshoots that are small cults that fly completely under the radar that most of us don't even know about.
Huh.
So it turns out it's really easy to like get people to do what you want if you start as a minister of any kind.
Right. David Koresh.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect example.
There's a whole bunch of like weird little fundamentalist cults. I was just reading about one today I hadn't even heard the name of before.
Oh yeah,
yeah, and someone had put up a billboard like trying to escape this religion, and there was a giant QR code for people to scan. Like some of these people are just so isolated. What was that show with Aaron Paul?
Oh, The Path.
The Path.
That was a great TV show. I'm really sad it got canceled because it was really getting good.
I think they only made like 3 seasons of it.
They only made 3 seasons.
Yeah. But I watched most of the first season. It was really good.
It is very good. There's a scene later on where one of the guys who is like one of the head preachers for that cult, very nonchalantly, and it's done expertly. It's written really well, but he very nonchalantly explains that the guy who founded the cult sexually abused him when he was a kid.
Yeah, right.
And he has this conversation very like,
sort of factually.
Yeah. And it's like it was, but you don't know that up until that point in the show, and it's like Jesus fucking Christ, like it's so heavy. Yeah. It's like, it's very well acted, very well written, and I just don't think enough people watched it. But it was really good. We were super into it.
Yeah, it was good. Aaron Paul's great. I still haven't seen El Camino.
Oh,
shame.
Dude, El Camino's good.
Got to see that.
Yeah.
There's a whole bunch of stuff I'm behind on.
Hey, you guys, you know what? You know what time it is? It's time for us to... It's time for us to tell you why we're fucked.
All right.
Who would like to start?
I got one.
Dave?
Yeah. I would like to talk about you're gonna is it going to me or not?
I'm waiting for you to start.
Okay.
Ben. Just fucking missed your chance.
I fucking hate you.
I was waiting for you. Ben, go ahead. He's just like staring at me. I'm like,
oh my God.
Take it away.
I feel like
I gave you the international symbol for take it away, Dave.
I feel like I've just held a sneeze. I'm not going to be happy until I get this out.
I feel like I've held my tongue long enough.
You son of a bitch. Ben.
Am I fucked? I don't.
You said you were a little sleepy. Do you want to make that your Dave? All right. Can we please talk about the January 6th shit?
Sure.
Okay.
I want to talk about it. This is not necessarily a why we're fucked, but I loved. Okay, because here's the thing: is I watched all of these fucking hearings, right?
Yeah.
And they have, for the most part, been spectacularly boring.
Sure.
But kind of in a good way. If you're like a politics nerd, they did a really good job for like the first, 4 or 5 of these or whatever it was, of like, hey, guess what? We're going to be really boring, factual, linear, and explain things in like really straightforward detail.
Yeah.
Which is actually what this thing deserves.
I was born straight, and I will never be altered in such ways.
Not be altered in such a way.
I was born straight, and I will never be. I'm sorry, I love doing Christian quotes as Obama.
Obama as Christian.
I gave birth to a beautiful baby bear, and she's female.
Congratulate me.
Wow! Congratulate
me. That's like the equivalent of please clap.
Yeah.
Anyway, these hearings have for the most part been very like straightforward and boring, which is what was required.
Yeah.
But then they got Cassidy Hutchinson, and this was a really interesting day on the Hill, because she was the assistant to Mark Meadows, who is the chief of staff at the time for the president, right? During January 6th, where he, had wanted to go to the Capitol with everyone. He really did. Like, the thing is, at the time, he said, oh, I'm going with you, and then went to the White House, right? And everyone was like, yeah, of course he went to the White House. He really wanted to go.
Yeah.
And
I imagine he did. I imagine that wasn't bullshit when he said it.
No, yeah. So we now know a bunch of other things that we didn't know at the time from her testimony. One of those was, while they were letting people come out to his speech and they were walking people into the area and running them through mag machines and taking their like guns and knives away, he was going, no, they're not here to hurt me. I don't care. Take the mag machines away. They're not here to hurt me. Which means he knew they were here to hurt somebody, but not him, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or at least you could infer
that. Yeah.
I mean, you're telling me someone with a gun has designs on hurting people?
Guns don't hurt people. Guns don't hurt people.
Guns don't kill people.
That's not what they're designed for.
That's not what they're
government
specifically
does.
designed to do. So that's one thing. The other thing is when they get in the limo, he's still asking to go to the Capitol, right? And then his security,
Of course not. The Secret Service is not going to let that happen.
Right. They've been told now expressly by other people.
It's not something he gets to choose.
No, yeah, you don't take him there because it will end up being he will be in a criminal situation just by being there.
Yeah.
He will be perceived as the head of this mob, even though it's obvious he already was, right?
Right.
So apparently grabbed a steering wheel to try and steer the limo from the back towards the Capitol. They wouldn't let him do it. His chief bodyguard, apparently Trump tried to grab him by the neck. We found that out later.
That's a good idea. Fuck with the Secret Service.
Apparently he was just sitting there at the White House. His
literally the most well-trained armed guards in the history of the world. You know what I mean?
We underappreciate how, because the thing is, because they've made enough notable mistakes and allowed enough people to get shot.
Doesn't matter.
They are
insanely well-trained.
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
Swiss Guard. Swiss Guard might be better trained.
Probably. Yeah, probably. I don't know.
When's the last time we've lost a pope?
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Although
they tried to shoot the Pope before.
They tried to shoot John Paul, which is why we have the Pope Mobile.
The Pope
Right,
mobile.
but think about what in the 20th century we lost JFK.
Reagan got shot. Unfortunately,
Reagan
didn't finish the job.
How many times in the 20th century has the Pope been shot?
Yeah, right.
Once. Yeah.
Let me say as much about how people feel about popes as how they feel about presidents too. I don't know.
Holiness the Pope.
My favorite story from Cassidy Hutchinson's testimony was that Trump got so mad a couple days before that Pence wasn't going to go along with the plan that he threw a plate at the wall. There was ketchup all over the wall, which tells me that he had a big old glob of ketchup on his plate, which I just like knowing.
Like eating like fucking like dinosaur nuggets and crinkle fries.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Lots of good stuff.
It's got one of the best kitchens on earth.
Yeah, right.
And he probably eats like fucking Hungry Man.
I learned some crazy shit about the presidential limo today. Do you know how decked out that thing is?
I can only imagine.
I mean, it's apparently like the walls of the thing are like 8 inches thick or something like that, with armor. They can deploy tear gas grenades. They have several pouches of the president's blood type in the vehicle,
Of course, yeah.
in case he needs a transfusion, as well as other stuff.
None of that surprises me.
No, and there's like tactical shotguns in the doors and shit. Like there's all kinds. It's like geared out.
Yeah.
And apparently the drivers are like super well trained to pull like crazy Fast and the Furious style stunts with that thing.
I learned that. I was watching a Nat Geo documentary about the Secret Service, and they seriously do. They have like, it's almost like stunt driving action, like action driving courses.
Which is why they call this thing the Beast.
But that's why I learned that thing where you gun it in reverse and then without losing speed, you kind of like
whip it in.
Hold the brake, jerk the wheel, do a 180, and then keep going. That's called a J turn, apparently.
Yeah. Right. And it's wild. It's like decked out, and they're like super. And the thing costs like $1.6 million.
Of course, I would imagine. That's less. Honestly, there's
but it's a limo.
There's some supercars that are more expensive than that, so that's not.
Anyway, I just wanted to talk about that. Not that we're fucked, but that I just thought it was a wonderful day of testimony, full of very interesting details
that nothing will come from.
No, probably not.
Yeah,
I don't expect. I mean, I don't know. That's the saddest thing, is that should have been the thing that if you were like on the fence, that should have been the thing that convinces people.
Doesn't matter.
They did manage to get a couple other people willing to testify, so that might have. Who knows? Who knows what we're gonna hear?
Okay.
Yeah, I don't expect it to change anyone's minds, but it's, if you're like a news junkie, then it's kind of
everything is in the news today.
Everything is in the news. But yeah, that's it. Ben.
I guess
I was gonna say, I hope we're getting this. I hope so. I just looked over to check that we're actually getting this. We are.
I'm fucked because I have a bunch of fighting games, and I've been to that's actually called Twilight Zone by 2 Unlimited.
Oh yeah.
Mortal Kombat goes da 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 da.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the two are very commonly confused.
Where do you stand at on 3-day? Where do you stand at on 3D balls?
3D balls. Obviously the best fighter ever made.
That's right. 3D balls.
But the thing is
that game even fun? It looked bad.
We had fun playing it. We played it. I think we played it when I first got the Genesis.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It was. I mean, it's not good. It's just, but it was fun. We played it for longer than we should have. If I remember correctly.
It was one of those ones where you could infinitely rotate too, right? Like you have a sort of like a linear stage, but you keep rotating around.
Yeah, it's all it. Yeah, did the rotation happen on its own, or was it like Tekken, where like you make your character kind of circle?
Yeah, like if you go up or down, then you rotate the field of play.
I think you've rotated like Tekken style. It's not like Wetrix where you can control it.
But anyway, I'm too. I get the nerves too much to play them, and this was a problem I was having with like Siege and Counter-Strike, and I was like, okay, well maybe I'll play something where I'm not on a team, and I'm still having the same issue where I'm just a big fat baby.
Dude, I hate playing shit online. Anything.
I like it. It I gotta be kind of in the right mood for it.
You don't want to be like Dave.
Yeah.
Dave just.
You don't want to be like a total pussy.
You don't want to be a total Dave. Guys, I can't play this. I'm not any good at it.
That's what I go through, like a spiral if
Who
I
cares?
go to play online.
Video games are
great
fun.
Question.
Who
Great
gives a
question.
shit?
I don't even care. My brain just makes me.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of online games, Fall Guys went free to play recently.
Oh, really?
Shit.
That's
Super glad I spent $20 on that.
It sort of should have been a free-to-play title anyway.
Yeah.
The whole structure of that game is like designed where it should have just been used to sell like cowboy hats. That should have been the whole point.
Exactly. Like fork knife.
Yeah, right.
Speaking of battle royales, when are you guys gonna hop on Call of Duty Mobile with me?
Never.
Does that have a battle royale mod?
Yeah. There's also zombies they do seasonally as well.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, it's super good. It's legit.
Yeah. I can't play with the phone screen though. Like I'd have to like hook up a controller. I just can't do that. Like screen as a
it's
joystick.
a little
and
tricky to
buttons.
get used to the controls, but once you do, you can kind of. The one good thing about it is you can fine tune them a lot,
Yeah.
so you can actually get it to where you.
You just always drift from the starting position and get confused.
It feels a little. Well, that's the thing too, because a lot of games now will have like the virtual thumbstick will kind of move with your thumb.
Correct, yeah.
Like it'll just be like this side of the screen, wherever your thumb happens to tap is the center of the joystick, and you can move from there.
Okay.
So it kind of works with you. But the other thing about COD Mobile is it's considerably slower paced than the console versions.
Mostly because I think a lot of people can't get the control scheme down.
There you go.
And a lot of it too is I know they fill the rooms with bots when people crash out.
Oh, okay.
So a lot of times you get like a match where it's 6 real dudes and 4 bots, or 8 real dudes and 2 bots, and they split them.
So they'll just like dump bots into the queue as people.
Sure.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Battle Royale mode too. You get a handful of bots, but it's once you get used to the controls, it's pretty.
I gotta get new chairs down here. These chairs are so creaky.
Yeah, we need like computer chairs.
Yeah,
That's
something
what we
more
need,
comfortable.
like
Maybe
office
with little
chairs.
couches or
Yeah.
a little chaise lounge. I wouldn't mind casting from a chaise lounge.
Yeah, I like playing games online, even when I'm doing poorly.
Yeah. Yeah, not me.
Yeah, I know.
And I've got to like I don't know. I can have fun with a game when I'm doing poorly, but not when I'm like I don't know. It's tough to say.
I think it's a direct reflection of one's mental health. I really do. It's like
Yeah.
such a good like the canary in the coal mine of your head.
Yeah.
Is like, are you able to lose without feeling like a loser?
Yeah.
You probably have a really healthy self-image.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great. It's so revealing.
Oh man, I've been watching more videos about that dude, Low Tier God.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Remind me, what game is his game?
His game allegedly is Street Fighter.
Right. Oh my god, dude.
But he plays many different fighting games. There's this one that came out recently called DNF Duel, which is based on a Korean MMO called Dungeon and Fighter Online.
Okay.
And so I guess you play as like the different character classes from that game, and so none of them have names. They're just called like Hitman or Launcher or Grappler.
Okay.
Or farty McBooger balls.
Punchy Twisty.
And I mean, God, like some of the stuff I found out about him, like even just like the night before last, like I never knew before. Like he has a sister, which I never knew before, but like because he never talks about his family. Well, it turns out it's because he's been disowned.
Oh, cool.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
God, I can't imagine what Christmas he ruined.
I mean, yeah, it was probably racism. He just hates black people, but tries to cloak it in like, he tries to make it seem like it's because he wants better for black Americans, but really it comes from a place of contempt.
He's black, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like that self-hating black guy thing is very much a thing.
Yeah, he's very much. A lot of his trolls call him Uncle Ruckus for that very reason.
The perfect example.
Yeah, right.
Oh my God. With a name like Low Tier God, you would think he would have some self-awareness, right?
Well, so he calls himself that because he picks characters in fighting games that he thinks are
Low tier.
Yeah, are inherently disadvantaged or
Oh,
low tier
okay.
in the current meta.
Oh, right.
What he really picks are any character that can reliably spam projectiles and sit in the corner.
Oh, right.
So he puts in like no work.
This is like the laziest fighting style ever.
The character he plays in DNF Dual Launcher is just a chick with a gun and grenades, and so he'll just cheese out of the corner and try to zone his opponent for the entire round.
So he's no Hungry Box. He's just like
he's not like Hungry Box. I remember Hungry Box.
H-Box, yeah.
I don't know if I know
He's
Hungry
the
Box.
Smash player.
Oh yeah, he's the Melee. You should never watch the Emp Lemon's documentary on him. Oh
No.
man, dude, you should watch it. Emp Lemon did a documentary on it. He has a show called Never Ever. And it's like there will never ever be another show like Monday Night Raw. There will never ever be another NASCAR driver like Dale Earnhardt. And he did an hour and 20-minute documentary for Never Ever about Hungry Box in the Melee community. Mm-hmm.
He's the guy they threw a lobster at one year.
Yeah.
He was just like, dude, who's fucking picked this up? Who's this?
H-Box basically he's a Jigglypuff main, which at the time when Melee was huge was considered low tier.
Yeah.
And H-Box is fucking really good at playing Puff and elevated Puff to like high tier.
Jigglypuff was extraordinarily OP in one move only.
Rest.
Yeah. And if you could do that exactly right,
Yeah.
you could kick ass.
Right, and he's very good at it. So if you get the early rack, if you get the chance, everybody watch Emp Lemon's documentary on Hungry Box, because if you just type in Hungry Box, it pops up. He's got like 15 million views on that thing. It blew up all over the internet. It was really cool.
I would like to watch that.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I've been really getting into like the who's who of the fighting game community.
H-Box has his own YouTube and Twitch account too, and he's really funny.
Yeah.
And he's genuinely a cool dude.
When LTG plays Snake, or when he plays Smash, he'll usually play either Snake, Simon Belmont, or
Interesting picks.
or Minecraft Steve.
Yeah.
All of whom, again, excel at just putting shit on the screen everywhere.
Yeah, C tier.
Right. The flame pots, the whip, the boomerang for Simon. Snake's got the rocket launcher. He's got grenades. He's got the Nikita missile that you can steer around.
Oh, okay. I haven't played Smash since probably Melee and didn't even really play that much of that.
Melee was like the perfection of the art form.
Well, we played some at Matt's bachelor party, didn't we?
Wait, at Matt's?
Yeah.
I didn't. No.
I know I was playing with someone.
That was Brawl.
Oh, that was Brawl?
That was Brawl.
Wait, Brawl is the second one?
Third one.
Third one.
Melee's the second.
Melee's the one I played a little of, and I barely played Brawl.
They dumbed everything down on Brawl.
Yeah, I thought about playing Smash Ultimate, but it looks too spazzy for me.
Yeah, it is very spazzy.
It looks like I would do bad at it. It looks like I wouldn't be able to win at it for the same reasons that I don't win at Fortnite.
Yeah.
Do you think Smash tournaments really are that smelly?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Do you think it's like
No, they
exaggerated?
We had one at Best Buy. No joke. We had
Oh,
one.
like if open to the public?
Yes.
Did you really?
Yes. And there
Did it
were
smell horrible?
there was I shit you not like 150 people who showed up
Whoa.
when Brawl was released.
Okay.
Yeah, like a fuck ton of people showed up to compete, and it was like fucking.
It's just all
It was
recessed
it
chins
was
and
neckbeard city.
There were like 2018, 2019, pre-pandemic. There were posts, all over Reddit of signs at Smash tournaments saying you're not going to be allowed in if you keep smelling the way
you have to take a shower to walk in this door.
Yeah, yeah, no, it's not an exaggeration. The Smash community in particular is apparently notorious for this.
It's so weird to me. Of all the games, why that one?
I know it's,
or maybe it's more games.
Well, they're still working out metas for the game. They're still working on strategies and elevating lower tier characters. So it's it's crazy.
I really should try to get into it.
Actually, come to think of it,
because we do have it.
I mean, do those games really even when they come out? I don't feel like they do as much balancing regularly in after development as other fighters, maybe, right? Do they? It's not like Overwatch or something where they're constantly balancing abilities and stuff to change the meta. They're kind of in stone.
And honestly, that's true of a lot of other
Might be
fighting
wrong.
games from what I've seen. Like Street Fighter recently had its final balance update because they're starting to show shit for Street Fighter 6 now, and it looks awesome.
Oh, really?
Incidentally, yeah. It's got more of that, like, what everyone keeps saying is Street Fighter is kind of coming back to the streets. It's got a lot of flair and a lot of style, kind of like Third Strike did. The soundtrack sounds real, funky and jazzy and really cool.
Yeah.
But they only did their final balance update like last month before.
Okay.
And
I just don't know if Smash games do that. Maybe they do.
They do. They absolutely do. That's the reason that Melee is still competitive and Brawl isn't as competitive as Melee.
Okay, I didn't realize that.
They dumbed it down. They took all the... Like, you could just whoop ass in Melee.
Okay.
But they leveled the playing field for casual gamers for Brawl.
Yeah. It was supposed to be... it was designed to be a casual fighting game.
Yes.
The original Smash Brothers was nothing but casual fighting.
Filthy casuals.
It was super fun, too.
It was just something fun for kids to play.
God, I loved that game. The original.
Yeah,
from the 64.
Pikachu.
Yeah. Samus.
Yeah.
But I think the reason that fighting games don't update as often as say like Overwatch or League of Legends,
They
or
fucking
whatever.
ruined Overwatch.
They did.
I kind of
They nerfed. They took all the fun shit out. Everything about Overwatch that was fun is gone now.
They never really gave. They never really gave the original characters much quality of life adjustments when it came to the new ones too. Like Pharah, like towards the end of Overwatch's run, became more and more useless as time went on, and it sucks because I love that character.
They nerfed Hanzo. I'll never forgive them for nerfing.
Yeah. What is his ultimate?
Yeah, the ult.
Did they just take damage away, or did they?
Yuga Tekio Kurao,
Yeah, that's it.
which means great dragon devour my enemies.
Yeah.
Man, you're getting really good at that Japanese.
Thank you.
Yeah. How many days streak do you have? Like 700 some days on Duolingo?
Genji.
700. Those are rookie numbers, my friend. Currently, my streak. I haven't done my Duolingo for today yet. I've just been refreshing skills a lot because like I haven't.
Still, that's a daily thing.
I haven't had like the mental space to like go to new lessons and everything, but I'm kind of keeping up.
Yeah.
My streak right now is 1,133 days.
Jesus Christ.
That's fucking nuts.
Yeah.
That's knucking.
That's got to be way up there on the list. I don't know. I don't know anyone else that is as dedicated to this thing. When you finally,
But I've been focusing more on Spanish. Though.
yeah, Forehead. Why don't you go?
I'm fucked.
How fucked are you?
My neighbor died, and now I have cats.
Right.
And I'm allergic to cats.
Yeah.
So it's been,
But you love them.
I do. That's the problem is, like, I've never been a cat person, and now all of a sudden I'm a cat person, like, immediately.
You understand now.
I do understand now.
The first time that cat, especially a cat you own, loves on you, you know.
You get it, yeah, because you start talking about them like weird cat ladies, like they're your children.
Yeah, you start making up
weird
narratives for them.
Yeah.
Like I have dogs, but we do the same thing. Like
Yeah.
you start to create mythologies around them. That's
Yeah.
why we ended up with Leroy the Ring Pop Prince. Do you remember that?
I don't remember that.
Leroy is the Ring Pop Prince because Bo is actual royalty and Leroy isn't. He's adopted. But they let him wear a ring pop to feel like he's royalty. That's a story we made up about our dog that sounds like we are mentally ill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does.
That sounds like the kind of thing people get committed for. There it is.
You know what the other thing is, though?
She sucked my cock. I created you. Fuck you.
Oh yeah, what was that again?
Raleigh Theodore Shakers.
Right.
I created you. Fuck you.
You know what the other thing is about cats is that it's not as easy to read their emotions as it is with dogs.
Yes.
Yeah.
Dogs are very expressive in a way that humans that is easy for us to understand.
Yeah. Especially particular breeds. They've evolved.
Yeah,
with us.
they'll like run around and jump, and they're like, oh, you know, he's happy. You can tell when a dog looks guilty. They'll like furrow their brows in much the same way that we do.
With their ears, the way they lay their ears, the way that their tail is expressive. It's not just going for no reason.
Yeah, but cats don't really do that. They don't express those emotions in the same way. If a cat stares at you, it means it finds you interesting. If it stares at you with narrow eyes, it means that it likes you or it feels safe around you.
Yeah.
That's why.
What's the guy's name? Jackson Galaxy. The cat trainer.
Oh yeah,
that dude.
The dude who teaches people the slow blink.
yeah. The slow blink's a real thing.
I mean, it is real, but also he seems freaking crazy.
Yeah.
I believe him, but I think he's a little bit nuts.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It's like when I come home from work, they both come running to me, and I just lay down on the floor. And Kiki's like a dog, dude. She just like plops on her back and rolls around.
Yeah.
Like she just, I've never seen a cat like that who just likes to be touched.
Leia does that.
You touch your belly, she doesn't like cut you up?
No, never.
If, like-
never. Minnie will tell you when she's done.
Leia will show her belly and roll around her back if like I come home from work and Aubrey's not there because she wants to be fed, and she goes nuts if you scratch her on the head, but she'll like bat at you and roll away if you try to touch her belly. Finn, on the other hand, at Tina's place loves belly rubs.
Oh yeah, that's key. She's like a log.
Yeah.
I can grab her face like this and mush it, and she just she does the
Compress her head into the size of a baseball.
loud purr. She just loves it.
Yeah, it's trust, man.
It's crazy. It's like
If a creature allows you to take their whole head in your
Yeah.
hands and just squish it,
Yeah.
that creature trusts you.
and she loves, and Minnie follows Trisha. Trisha's like the only one who can love on Minnie without getting batted at.
Yeah.
Kiki is never once batted at me.
Yeah, it's a thing. They do have they can have gender preferences.
Yeah. They kind of pick a person even.
Yeah. Leia really likes boys.
Yeah.
Especially ones she doesn't know.
Yeah. Yeah, but like I'm allergic to cats, so and I think we've got it pretty much down.
Yeah.
Because they haven't been bothering me. I'm on a pretty strict allergy medicine regimen, and it has helped tremendously.
This is the genius of animals.
Yeah.
If they want to live with us and we can't take it,
Yeah.
we modify our behavior.
But yeah, we got.
We'll take pills
we
just
got
so we
them
can have
just
them.
because our neighbor Marcy passed away, and they were like, there's not a ton of shelters in this area that aren't kill shelters, and her brother couldn't take them, so it's like I'm not gonna let her. It's not her cat's fault
Right.
that she died,
Yeah.
so I can't. And they were her babies, so it's like I can't in all good consciousness let that happen.
It's just one of those things, man. You just kind of feel the call.
So I
to
told
do
Trisha,
something.
I'm like, I can't, like, I said, I hope you're okay. But I told her brother, like, we can take them. They paid us to take them.
Oh, really?
Because they're like, thank you, because they didn't know what they were gonna do.
Well, that's nice.
And I'm like, I can't, like, I cannot in all good consciousness let this happen to them too. And it took them a little bit to warm up, but part of the family. So it's like,
Yeah. I wonder if because I've lost allergies before. I used to be allergic to soy and tomatoes.
Yeah.
But that went away when I was a kid. I wonder if
Yeah, if you will eventually.
just like even just like through constant exposure to these cats.
well, I'm already noticing like a huge drop. Like when I would go to Chantel's, right? Chantel had 2 cats, right?
God, we are like snotty and burpy and everything.
I know.
The fucking
Sorry.
pollen.
She like, it would always, I couldn't stay there too long because it would just make me fucking miserable. Like
Yeah.
watery eyes, itchy. Like, and it would get on my skin
Upset
and like,
stomach, diarrhea.
yay, Pepto-Bismol. But now they don't really bother me. I can get on the floor and like pick Kiki up and roll her over.
Yeah.
She does this funny ass shit where like she'll sit in your seat when you leave. She'll get up and sit exactly where you were sitting, and then like if you go to the kitchen for something, and then come back and she'll just lay down. And like I'll be like, hey, move. Like you do that to a dog's gonna fuck off, right?
Yeah, right. Cats are
But
not the
you
same.
roll. So I'll just like put my hand on her, like, hey, move, to push her, and she'll just like go limp and let me roll her.
Oh my God, you're so in love.
It's just like I'm like, what are you doing, dude? Like, get the fuck out of my seat, But yeah, that's the problem. I'm fucked because I've shown some kind of affection, which as a man is something
vulnerable and weak.
Right. You know, my bloodline will not survive. So I'm fucked because now I'm a cat person.
Yeah,
and,
you sure are. You're in love. Boy, you're so gross.
I am. What a fucking loser. What a pussy.
What a big baby. I'm happy for you.
Thanks, bitch.
Yeah. Bitch.
All right, Forehead, you want to stop that?
Yeah, sure.
We'll get moving on to the next segment of the show, which is a little thing that we like to call smoking and drinking.
46 minutes.
Here's what we're smoking, and here's what we're drinking.
Yeah.
Smoking,
Drinking. All right, stick around.
I'm Ham.
I'm Slam.
I'm Drog.
Do you like what you're listening to right now?
Do you not know yet?
I encourage you.
To subscribe
Yeah.
to the Three Dude Podcast.
It's right here on the internet. It lives here.
You can find us on Google Podcasts,
iTunes, Stitcher.
Grindr.
Zillow.
Thanks for listening to the Dudecast. We are your dudes.
You pieces of shit. And now we're back.
Yeah, now we are back.
And now we're officially back.
And now we're gone. So now we're gone, we're done, and now we're back.
I gotta love with you guys. I don't really have a topic.
I
picked out
know.
yet. So I'm gonna just kind of wing it until I think of something.
That's it. You know what? Just go to a random word cloud generator. Just go to a word. Yes. You get me every time.
It doesn't matter because it's time for Who Said It Best, everyone. Yeah.
I'm really excited.
You motherfuckers thought I forgot.
I actually did.
It's a new season of Who Said It Best.
Is that song actually in the public domain? Because the Red Letter
Yeah.
Media uses it.
Yeah, I think it is.
It must be.
Yeah, because
Or you could. I imagine you could also pay to license it, but that doesn't make any sense.
well, I mean, yeah, because they play it whenever they do Plinketto.
Yeah, they do.
Who won last season? Did I win? I think I won in the last episode.
Yeah.
Did you?
I did. I still never bought myself a gift for winning, so I'm gonna have to do that.
That sounds right. It sounds right.
Yeah, so I'm gonna have to keep a tally. I assume you all are familiar with the rules, but I will. For any new listeners that might be there, I will parlay them to you all. Who Said It Best, gentlemen, is a game in which I will read you a quote, and you have to tell me who said that quote. You have 5 separate choices. 4 is good, 5 is better. And because it's 2 against 1, I've decided to try and give myself some sort of edge. But I do have a stipulation that we added last year that levels the playing field.
Oh yeah, that's right.
If I get the answer correct, I get 1 point. If Dave gets the answer correct, and if I stump you, I get a point. If Dave gets the answer correct and Ben doesn't, Dave gets a point. Vice versa. Ben gets.
But if we both get it,
you each get 2 points,
Right.
and that makes up for the fact, in my mind, that you have 5 choices and I have a 60% advantage. So
Yeah.
if you both guess together to try and influence some guessing, with like some teamwork amongst you both.
if there's some numbers dork listening to this that can prove to me that this is this is in
Doesn't
fact
matter if
dead
it's
even.
fair because this is what we're going with.
I know.
It's not dead even,
No.
but it does give you some incentive to jump ahead.
It levels the
Yes.
playing field, so to speak.
so to speak.
Instead of us just picking 2 different answers to cover as much ground as
Correct,
possible.
which is what was happening at a few
Yeah.
points earlier on.
Right.
So I had to throw the stipulation in there to piss you guys
I
off.
still can't shake the feeling that this is like a carnival game.
It's so much. This is so much fun to do.
It's like, can I call shenanigans?
So, gentlemen, are we ready to play the game?
Fuck yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
I love this game.
Gentlemen, who said it best when they said multitasking is the ability to screw everything up simultaneously? Was that A, Jeremy Clarkson, B, comedian Mitch Hedberg, C, Tim the Toolman Taylor, D, baseball legend Yogi Berra, or E, PewDiePie?
Oh fuck! I have a really strong opinion on this one.
Let me hear it because I feel like
I will read. Here's the quote.
Give it to us again.
Multitasking is the ability to screw everything up simultaneously. Your options are A, Jeremy Clarkson from Top Gear, Grand Tour. B, Mitch Hedberg, the famous Stephen Wright-esque one-liner comedian. Tim the Toolman Taylor from the show Home Improvement, famously played by Tim Allen. Famous humorist and baseball legend Yogi Berra, or famous racist and video game enthusiast PewDiePie.
This is just append famous racist.
Famous racist.
All right, here's my gut feelings. I really don't feel like it's Mitch. Doesn't sound like Mitch.
No.
Doesn't sound like his style.
yeah, it's not surreal enough.
Yogi Berra is a trap because,
Yeah.
of course,
Yeah,
that's the kind of thing he would say, but I don't think he did.
I think it's exactly the kind of bumper sticker, page a day calendar humor that you would find in Home Improvement.
Yeah, I do too. Now, the thing is, I also think it's possible that it's Clarkson, but I can't remember him ever saying screw up.
Yeah.
Screw everything up is what the quote is.
Right, but I've never heard him I can't remember a time when he said something was screwed up. It seems like it's outside his vocabulary.
Yeah, I think he'd be more likely to say like fouled up or
Yeah, right, or cocked up. I don't know.
yeah,
But, and then that leaves
ruin
PewDiePie.
everything all at once.
I just really don't see PewDiePie saying it.
No,
It could be. It could be.
I'm willing to be surprised, but honestly, Tim the Toolman
C
Taylor
feels right.
Sounds right to me.
Yeah.
Are we gonna go with that?
I think so.
I didn't even have to use the timer this time. Are we going with our final answers, gentlemen?
Yeah.
Let's do
do it.
C.
Tim the Toolman Taylor.
Because the thing is, if this was just about trying to get that extra 2 points, I wouldn't feel that confident. I just really do feel like that's the answer.
Final answers?
Yes.
C?
Sure, C.
Gentlemen, the quote was, multitasking is the ability to screw everything up simultaneously. When you guessed that it was C, Tim the Toolman Taylor, you were incorrect.
Fuck you.
It was A, Jeremy Clarkson.
Eat shit, fuck you.
Very good deductive reasoning, but that was, I had to look up, I saw the quote and then I had to look up the clip.
Oh my God.
So yes, that is
I feel like I've never heard him say
Jeremy
screw
Clarkson,
up.
of course, famous host and presenter of Top Gear from 1999 to whenever they booted him off the show, and then he got a deal with James May and Richard Hammond to do Grand Tour, which is just as good. Yeah,
Hey, our initial-
very funny. It was, especially the old Top Gear episodes, hilarious.
Just noticed our initials spell out CBD.
Yeah, they do.
How about that?
So that is one tally.
That's one for
Chris.
you. One for you.
Chris.
You fucking asshole piece of shit. This game makes me hate you more than anything else. I hate how good you are at this.
I have to step it up because you guys are getting better at it.
Well, we were close.
Yeah.
We had
close.
it narrowed down to the two most likely, I think. I
Yeah.
mean, right? It was gonna be A or C.
Yeah. Definitely.
Ready for the second quote, fellas?
Yeah, let's do
Sure
it.
as hell am.
Quote number 2. Who said it best when they said, "I don't care what you think of me, unless you think I'm awesome, in which case you are right." Okay. Was that A, Miss Piggy, B, Logan Paul, C, Deadpool, D, Cliffy B? He has no who Cliffy B is,
Yeah,
right?
right.
Yeah.
Okay. Or E, CJ Craig from The West Wing.
I think it's either C or D.
The quote was, "I don't care what you think of me unless you think I'm awesome, in which case you are right." Your options were A, Miss Piggy from The Muppets, B, famous YouTube douche Logan Paul, C, Deadpool. I think Deadpool's pretty famous enough now.
Yeah.
And everybody knows who he is. D, Cliffy B, who is the famous Gearbox software CEO, famous arrogant douche in the video game industry who makes pretty good games. Or E, White House press secretary in The West Wing, CJ Craig. Not the not the real West Wing, but like the TV show
Yeah.
West Wing. So
That really feels like CJ Craig to me.
I don't care what you think of me unless you think I'm awesome, in which case you are right.
You have any strong opinions?
I'm leaning towards either Deadpool or Cliffy B.
I want to take Miss Piggy off the list because what Miss Piggy's character trait is not just that she's awesome, but that she's beautiful. She's vain. It feels like awesome wouldn't be the word.
Yeah, that's not a word she would use.
I could be wrong. That's my reasoning there. Cliffy B, maybe. I don't know. I don't know. CJ Craig seems very likely. Who are our other two? Who's B and C?
Logan Paul and
Yeah.
Deadpool.
Right.
Yeah, I don't think it's Logan Paul.
Could be Deadpool. Could be Logan Paul though too. These all these people.
I was proud of this one. This is a tough one.
This is a tough one.
This is a tough one.
Unless you think I'm awesome.
It sounds the most like Logan Paul. It sounds the most in character like Logan Paul.
The question is, did I throw that in there to throw you off?
I know.
I'm going to settle on. I'm going to settle on Cliffy B.
Are you?
Final answer.
For me, yes.
Dave, I have to ask you to lock in an answer.
Well, it's either Logan Paul or CJ Craig. But I can really easily see CJ in an episode just exasperated after dealing with everybody, collapsing into her office saying that to somebody.
Yeah.
It feels right. I can't remember a specific instance of it, but I'm going to guess that one anyway.
Final answer?
Final answer. Fuck me. Fuck you.
Dave. When I asked you who said it best when they said, I don't care what you think of me unless you think I'm awesome, in which case you are right, you guessed E, CJ Craig.
Yeah.
That answer was incorrect.
Fuck you.
Ben,
Ben, please get this.
when I asked you who said it best when they said, I don't care what you think of me unless you think I'm awesome, in which case you are right, you guessed D, Cliffy B. You were incorrect.
Wow.
The correct
Logan
answer
Paul?
was A, Miss Piggy, taking from the Muppet Show reboot that NBC did a few years back, in which they were in charge of their late night show at the NBC offices. I don't have to explain pop
I'm
culture.
beside myself. I'm beside myself
Miss,
right now.
you know, you guys, everybody knows who Miss Piggy is, right? I don't have to like come up with some cool facts for Miss Piggy. Everybody
You
knows.
have to have like a Wikipedia blurb.
Usually,
for
I
Miss
try and
Piggy.
like give everybody some like, yeah, this is who this person is, and
Right.
I like to add some backstory to it. But yeah,
But if you don't know who Miss Piggy is,
yeah, right. What are you doing?
yeah, you got to know who Miss Piggy. It strikes me that like Zoomers maybe don't know the Muppets
Yeah,
very
maybe.
well. I don't know.
But none of that matters because
He's up by 2, Ben.
2 for 2 to start the new round of Who Said It Best. 2 for 2, baby.
I'm really not happy
But-
about this.
As we
really
discussed
not happy
before,
about
you guys
this.
could jump way ahead on the next one if you both guessed.
It's happened before.
It's happened before,
Yeah.
and
Ben
it made
swept
last
it
season
before.
interesting. So
Yeah.
let us see.
All right, forehead. Doesn't it just work?
Yeah, all right, forehead.
Yeah, whatever, forehead.
Yeah. Move it, football head.
So
Yeah,
dismissive.
yeah, whatever, forehead.
All right, forehead.
It makes you think, like, what's wrong with my forehead? Like,
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
It's no one's ever picked on my forehead
Yeah,
before.
it puts like the seed of doubt in there. Yeah. All right, whatever, knee bones.
Does everyone think my knees are weird?
Yeah.
Oh my god, they are weird.
So I was debating on several different topics. None of them sounded particularly interesting.
Oh well, let's look at those.
Let's
then.
look at those.
Let's look at the uninteresting topics.
The one that I keep coming back to,
Sure.
and it's probably a sign that that's what this episode should be about.
Sure.
Is I want to talk about photography.
Ooh,
I want to talk about some of the most famous images, what your favorite photos are.
This
what
is
they
really good.
What they make you feel, and why they make you feel that way. And the reason that I keep coming back to this is because I watched a documentary about my favorite photograph of all time, which is very morose. About you guys are familiar with the picture of the falling man?
Yeah. The dude with the.
The
dude that they put in the 4chan header,
thing, yeah,
because his legs were in the shape
of number 4.
Yeah. Oh my god.
That's your
That's my connection to that photo.
the 4chan. That's really dark and funny, but it's like so dark. Yeah,
It's so extremely uncool.
but the falling man is a famous photo by an AP journalist who was actually in Manhattan during the.
What made the journalist so AP? Was he like covered in hair?
An AP journalist.
An AP journalist.
Was he even allowed to be taking photos?
No, he wasn't even supposed to be out of the zoo at that time.
Man, all sorts of things went wrong on 9/11.
Yeah, that was the second weirdest thing that happened that day.
Oh no, the gorilla with the camera escaped. How could this get any worse?
South Tower.
The gorilla has ripped the head off a photographer and is now running with their camera through the streets of Manhattan. It can't get any worse than this.
Oh my God, he's got a Pulitzer.
Oh no, how could the situation possibly get worse?
Well, at least the other one didn't fall. Oh God,
boy! If that gorilla could redeem himself right now by taking a photo,
at least the fine servicemen and women at the Pentagon are working on it.
Boy, this gorilla started a whole bunch of mess. I say we declare war on this gorilla.
Bonzo, you've done it this time.
This day just can't get worse.
All right, it's completely derailed us.
Oh God!
No, the falling man is a famous photo taken by this journalist who was. Actually,
it's haunting.
He was covering like some stupid bullshit. He was covering like some outdoor, like some fashion show or something. And they're like, "Hey, a plane just hit the World Trade Center. Can you get down there?" Because he was the closest to the scene.
Right.
So he got off the subway and immediately started capturing photos.
He's like, I thought people were a little more stressed around here than normal.
So yeah,
that sound was.
From the moment he stepped out of the subway, he was just capturing photos, and he was there when the second plane hit, and he was there. He had to leave when the first tower collapsed.
Sure.
But during that time, you know, we all know how terrible the situation was like inside the towers,
right,
and the floors above where the plane hit, because there was fuel leaking out down, like up and down the stairs. They were, you know,
people couldn't get through stairwells.
People couldn't breathe. You know, the smoke was pouring out of the building, so like people were asphyxiating. So in order to, and I found this interesting, the things we choose to classify as Americans. They don't classify them as jumpers. Because they weren't doing it in their right minds. They were doing it to breathe, to escape the. Do you know what I mean? It was
so that the last minutes you have on this earth, you can actually breathe and not.
Those people are not documented as suicides.
No,
they're you know what I mean, because it's. You know, what other option do you have? Burn in a horrible death, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you jump off of a burning boat and drown, the cause of death, was not your choice to jump.
Correct.
You didn't really choose anything.
Your fight or flight literally response kicked in, and it's like, what are you going to do? You can't.
Right.
You have to escape. So, so the falling man is a very somber slice of humanity photograph of a guy falling like an arrow. And if you look at the sequence of photos, he said the photo is very peaceful because he's falling straight down like an arrow, but he's actually tumbling through the sky. So the sequence of photos is this guy tumbling from the 100th floor or whatever. Yeah, it's horrifying. And the photo that he happens to catch in sequences of this guy basically bisecting the front corner of the South Tower as he's tumbling down. And it's very striking, so to me, this is kind of why I wanted to talk about this, because I think some of the most fascinating photographs in our history are of tragedy, horrible things.
Yeah, and kind of candid tragedy.
Candid tragedy, very, very human kind of things that trigger you on an emotionally human level. It's not a very a base response. It's something that you, as a person with a conscience,
Yeah.
identify with.
And for a minute, if you inhabit that photo,
Yeah.
and you think about being in that situation, you experience something that is otherworldly.
It's immediate.
Yeah.
The effect is immediate on you when you see it.
What comes to mind for me is that famous photograph of that little Vietnamese girl,
Yeah.
naked and bony and
Running away from a napalm strike.
Yeah.
Immediately after that photo was taken, interestingly, she ran up to the photographer who was taking the picture.
Yeah.
And she was screaming because her skin she had 3rd-degree burns on her skin. They were trying to cool her off with bottles of water. It's horrible. Or
isn't that the last thing you want to do with a burn is pour cold water on it?
yeah,
I don't know. Is it?
when it's that bad, yeah, because it'll blister off of your body.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they're trying to. You want to run lukewarm water on.
Gotcha.
It. That's what you do. But if a bottle of water is all you know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
She's covered in chemical burns.
Yeah, I mean they're journalists, not medics.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, that photograph always gets me very deep, and a lot of people have a very strong response to that photo. So much so that it has only been run once in several papers because people don't like it. It has since garnered
Which one? The jumper?
the falling man.
Yeah.
Because people were like outraged when that appeared on the cover because it's like I don't want to think about it.
Grotesque.
It's grotesque.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But over time, it's been cited as one of the most important photographs ever because it does awaken such a.
I think there's something about it that is most
intense
like
feeling.
Man with Tank, where
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like
Yeah.
it's
Tiananmen.
it's basically a photo in this moment before something else happens or could happen, or
Right.
you know
Yeah.
what I mean, like
Yeah, it's a Wild West stare down.
yeah. There's something about that. That falling man probably fell for something like 12 seconds or something, right?
Yeah, that's almost exactly it. I think it's just over 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a snapshot of the last 10 seconds of someone's life in
Yes.
extreme circumstances. I mean, like, it's unbelievable. As far as journalism goes, that's almost exclusively what journalism exists to document.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Is, like the story of a thing that happened so fast that nobody would ever know.
Right. Exactly.
Nobody would ever know.
He said the reason that he even started taking those pictures is because he was very close to the towers.
Yeah.
And him and the people around him were hearing thuds on the concrete.
Yeah.
They're like
There's videos from the basement of those buildings
Yeah.
where you can hear people landing.
it sounds like a bag of concrete being dropped. Just boom, just thud, thud, thud.
bigger sound than you expect.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's horrifying and grotesque, but it's so in a lot of ways it's a very peaceful photograph. And it accomplishes a lot of the like basic college level photojournalism kind of things. Like the rule of thirds is very present there because he's perfectly bisecting the corner of the tower.
Yeah.
And then him as the center focal point. And it's like, I don't know, man.
Not just as a photograph, but not just as a subject of what it's documenting, but as a photograph.
Right.
It's particularly excellent.
Right. Elton John actually owns the original print of that. He purchased it at auction.
Oh shit.
Wow.
Yeah, because he's a famous photography collector, so he has lots of famous shots.
I did not know that.
Yeah, his apartment. I saw it was like a CBS Sunday morning special they did on him, like and that specific part of his life, and like that was at the time the most recent photo he bought was the original print.
I did see that Elton John is now bringing an exclusive Vision line of lenses and frames or of frames to Walmart's nationwide. So that's fun. That's exciting. The Elton John line.
Nice.
I want jewel encrusted sunglasses for the summer.
The most disturbing photo I've ever seen.
Oh boy.
I think I know what you're gonna say.
Because I think I've told it. I might have even brought it up on the podcast before.
Boy, we really should have warned people.
Yeah, sorry, because a lot of these are gonna be dark.
But it was a photo of a Japanese soldier in China, in Japanese occupied China.
I know the one you're
in
talking
the late
about.
30s, and in one hand he has a sword, and in the other hand is the freshly severed head Not a Hevered said.
Everett said, "Womp womp bloopers."
Oh,
Everett said, "What?"
World's wackiest war crimes.
Boy,
The freshly severed head of a Chinese man, and on the soldier's face is this insane Joker grin. His eyes are wide. He's grinning ear to ear.
Yeah.
Just with this head that he's just cut off of this Chinese civilian. And this was because in World War II, Japanese infantrymen were given meth. As like a battle stimulant.
Yeah, and the Germans, right?
Germans too. Yeah, they were.
Yeah.
There's a lot of meth going on.
Yeah, there was
in that war.
There was a lot of
There's always drugs in war, aren't there?
Yeah.
I seem to remember, like in the First World War, they would mix.
I don't think I've actually ever seen that photo, but I'm gonna try and find it here.
I have.
They would mix. I remember they would mix. It was either like gunpowder or just saltpeter.
Jesus
in with their
Christ.
food, and it was supposed to like repress their like sexual urges or something.
Yeah.
There's.
All right, lads, it kills your boner on the battlefield. I know you're out marching in the muck and the mire and you're having boners all day.
Boners.
Only thinking of your lass back home.
Jesus fucking Christ. That's
or the
brutal.
lad next to you, as the case may be.
Don't ask, don't tell ye.
Did you find it? Yeah, it's
fucked.
fucking terrifying. Isn't it?
Yeah. Hey, if you're listening, Google that.
He looks so proud. He's just.
Yeah. I mean, for however much like he realizes where he is and what he's doing.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, no, like controlling the mental state of your soldiers is something that that armies throughout time have always tried to do.
Giving them extra endurance and strength, and also the willingness to follow orders because you're so hopped up, you'll do anything.
Yeah, I mean they did shit like with mind control and ecstasy and stuff. MK Ultra, all this stuff.
Yeah.
Throughout the Cold War, and there's probably been even more harebrained ideas since then.
There's a really, really interesting episode of Black Mirror that I always really like. I don't know if you guys have seen the one. It's about military in like some remote area where they're dealing with like basically
I do remember
bug
this.
people of some kind.
Yeah,
They look
yeah.
fucked up. They have like dark black eyes and fangs and stuff.
Ugh.
And they're basically the military is supposed to protect the towns that are under the military's authority and stuff from these creatures, right, that live
I
in small
remember that.
towns.
Yeah, that was a mind fuck.
I don't want to spoil the episode.
Yeah.
I won't. But there's a part where someone is explaining. In fact, I think his name is Michael Kelly. It's the guy that plays what's his name on House of Cards?
Stamper.
Stamper, right?
Oh,
So he's explaining to a soldier, it'll be back in the days of like old-fashioned warfare. Let's go all the way back to like say the American Revolution back then. You have lines of soldiers marching towards each other, and many of them wouldn't even fire on the enemy. They found, people were too afraid to actually engage in real violence. They'd fire above the head of the oncoming soldiers. And then throughout time, militaries strove to find the ways to get their soldiers to do the things they needed to do.
yeah.
I don't have to spoil the episode for you to know.
Right.
There's some fuckery involved.
And that reveal
It's exceptional.
Is very brutal.
I need to watch more Black Mirror.
Black Mirror is.
I always stop for a while because I always run into like that one episode that just emotionally
15 million demerits.
It was 15 million merits the first
merits,
time, and it was only the fucking second episode of the series, and it gut punched me so hard that I took a break from the series for a long time. And then I was rewatching most of it, and then I got to playtest.
I just watched that one again recently.
So good.
That
one is so good.
That fucked me up.
Well, it's
completely.
It's perfect horror because it taps into exactly like deep fear in this guy.
Yeah.
That episode's exceptional. That whole show's good. But I really recommend you watch that. I'll find the episode title for you.
That was a
And then
Yeah.
I think of all the ones I've watched so far, my favorite was what's it called? White Bear. Where
Oh, yeah.
the woman wakes
Yeah.
up with no memory and people are filming her.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and she's essentially being chased, or she's running, then she's being chased.
Yeah.
Doesn't know why. And yeah, there's this symbol that pops up everywhere.
Yeah, and that symbol is the same one from Jabberwock. That like
Oh, really?
branching path thing. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a
good one,
really
too.
good episode.
Yeah.
Horrible, horrifying show, but like really
good. Yeah, really good.
I always beg people to watch it.
It's excellent. It's
Phone
excellent.
bad.
Yeah, phone bad.
bad.
Dave, you have a favorite? You have a photograph that stands out to you? Because I have several more of these.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't really think that much about photography, to be honest.
Great topic.
There's,
choice.
I know, but there's some certainly. I'm trying to think of some good examples.
Oh, you know what my favorite.
Nothing comes to mind though.
You know what one of my favorite.
Yes, I certainly enjoy photos.
Looking at them, occasionally taking them.
Fuck you.
No, you know what one of the funny.
Are you laughing at how poorly I hid the fact that I
It's okay.
just couldn't think of a
Because
single thing.
I've done this too, where
Yeah.
you're like, yeah, you just kind of like go along with the
I
ride.
think for me it's
You're not-
space photography.
Yeah, well, it's interesting you bring that up because
I know what we're going to talk about.
the James Webb Space Telescope, which
I
I've
can't
been
wait.
bashing into everybody's brains. I was so fucking excited when they launched it up
Yeah.
into space. It's like an insane amount more detailed than the Hubble.
I clapped when I saw it.
It's also,
ATSTs.
it's also so nifty how they have it hovering in one of these sort of like perfect orbital spots where it's sort of fixed, where all
Yeah.
the forces of the Earth and Moon
Stable orbit.
conspire to just keep it right in place.
Yeah, it's amazing how precise they are.
It's
with
amazing
that.
we can
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah.
So I know
That's the music of the spheres.
yeah.
they've released some like when the first 2 or 3 instruments were up. One of the first things they tested was the infrared camera.
Yeah.
So they used it to spy on the guy who had his day off. That doesn't look like your wife, Chuck. Yeah, we see you. We see you down there.
Hey, Chuck, this is JPL. Hey, look outside.
This is floating there.
It's hovering in his driveway. We got you, you fucking liar.
Like insane zoomed in shots of his scrotum.
Yeah, the flew my ass, Chuck.
I see a tiny blue speck. I see a pale blue dot.
That's good.
It's your left testicle.
The 12th at 10:30 a.m. NASA is going to hold a press conference and release the first detailed images. They've released one test image that was shot in infrared.
Right.
And it is there's a comparison image of the same section of the sky taken from the highest powered infrared telescope on this planet.
Right.
Compared with what the James Webb telescope is,
Right.
and it is night and day.
Wow.
I mean, it is incomprehensible how clear.
That original telescope, do you know if it's a single telescope or if it's like the array that we have?
The
where
Hubble?
No. The comparison photo that they...
I think it's a single telescope.
Okay.
It's a single.
The reason I ask is I know they have that, like when they took those images of that black hole.
Yeah.
They use an array of telescopes around the Earth which function as one telescope.
Correct.
Because they basically, all of them point to the same place and then they compare and merge and throw out certain data and they arrive at like basically an Earth-sized telescope.
God,
Yeah.
how much shit do we have in orbit right now?
Oh, tons, tons and tons.
Yeah.
How much of our bullshit have we launched up into space?
Those ones are all land-based. Those ones I'm talking about are land-based.
Oh,
Incidentally, this is the reason that, and everybody fucking makes fun of it, but this is the reason that a Space Force is necessary, because that's going to be something that we're going to have to deal with in the future. And in fact, Trump and Pence were not the ones to
propose this idea.
It's been rolling around the Pentagon for decades.
They were just the only two that like got got semi-chubbed when they heard the word Space Force.
Yeah.
So like right.
That didn't do anything for Obama.
You mean with lasers and everything?
Right.
Can we design pretty cool uniforms for them that
Can we
say
give
Space Force
can
over
we
here?
equip our troops with lightsabers?
But people seem to think that it's like, oh, it's about space battles. That's not the point. The whole point of the Space Force is to monitor the activity of near-Earth objects.
Yeah.
And
To say nothing of colonizing space. I mean, that's like a
Correct.
secondary. It's like,
Right.
we got to deal with things like a massive amount of space junk and how we're going to deal with it.
Yeah, so that is why that is important. So you can make fun of it if you want, but it is something that in the next 20, 30 years we're really going to have to start thinking about.
There are Ziplocs floating around the Earth full of astronaut turds.
Yeah.
that are going to need.
I think that's how they do it.
That's a space peanut.
That's a space peanut.
No, but James Webb,
One big bowl of shit.
this is a big frozen chunk of poopy.
Everyone out of orbit! Everyone out of orbit!
Guys like that dated Joe Dirt reference.
You know what? I think Joe Dirt might still be funny.
I like Joe Dirt.
I want to watch that again sometime. Can we watch it sometime?
Anytime you
I
want.
want to see if the ball stuck to the porch thing is still as funny as I.
He's got his what? He broke his leg? No. He's got his nuts stuck to the porch. Yeah. Yes. Exactly.
Yes, that's it. You like get a spatula
Yeah,
under
a spatula with some warm water. Yeah.
it. When the dog like goes to sit up, it doesn't quite, and you see it
Scratches.
stretch.
Yeah, it was great. Some prop guy had so much fun with that.
Yeah.
But anyway, back to James Webb.
Yeah. The 12th, you said.
The 12th, yes. The thing that it keeps coming up in every article I've read is that several of the scientists and astronomers, when they received the first batch of data, the first images,
They
wept.
Yeah.
Because it's so amazing that some of the photos that we have now.
Yeah. Now I hope they haven't. Let me just say this. I hope they haven't oversold it in a certain sense. And
We'll see.
by that I mean, when they released that image of the black hole, it was absolutely, without a doubt, one of the most fascinating things we've ever been able to do.
Yeah.
And everyone went, "Why is it blurry?"
Yeah, I know. Stupid.
Right?
Like, that's amazing.
Yeah,
If you know
it's like, shut up.
anything about astrophysics and astronomy, it's like we've just proved 100 years of theory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why is it blurry?
Yeah, right, exactly. It's infuriating because it's like, no, we guessed right.
Yeah.
Like we guessed right.
We guessed right at something that we have never seen and only thought could and must, on some level, be possible.
That's shit that, like, I need to know, like, how we figure stuff out that we can't directly observe, and that, like, as far back as, like, what, even the Renaissance.
Yeah, go back to like
Galileo guessed correctly, or not.
Yeah.
Well, he didn't guess; it was an informed hypothesis.
Yeah.
That if you were to drop a hammer and a feather, on a planet with, or like on, because I can't remember
dropping a feather in a
on the moon
and a bowling ball in a vacuum.
Right. Yeah. And
Terminal velocity,
in a
regardless, like outside of drag forces and stuff.
Yeah, is the same for all
This
objects.
summer, drag force.
And then hundreds of years later, Apollo 14 or 15, I think, tested it by dropping a hammer and a feather on the surface of the moon. They hit the ground at the same time.
Yeah, you do kind of wonder, like, how could they have been so sure?
Like, how do we know how much the Earth weighs? How do we know?
Yeah.
You know, like, how are we able to measure the Earth's distance from the sun?
My favorite thing is that people were aware because of like retrograde orbits of other planets that they correctly assumed that we were also orbiting things, and that just as we eclipse them, they appear to go backwards for a minute before going forward again.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that takes
like
so much
this
big
path.
brain to come up with that conclusion.
Yeah. It's like, what is it? Like Venus or Mercury goes like this over the course of a year in the night sky. It makes like an S shape.
If its arc is like a circle, it kind of comes around and then it will appear to go backwards and then keep going forward because we're moving. It's now like we're on the side of our orbit where we make it look like it's going backwards because we're kind of passing it. It's like it's a perspective illusion.
Yeah.
And the big brain required to figure that shit out.
Oh, it's insane.
Yeah.
One of the best classes I took in college was an astronomy lab course. where we did that. We
Yeah, it did stuff like that.
calculated the orbit of Venus.
Oh man.
Through the course of like months. It's fucking rad.
Wow.
Like
It's like a deep dive into history.
They show you the proofs on how to do it, and it's like it's cool. And I had a great professor for that. He like explained how it came about, and he always put Bob Dylan records on. It was always cool.
There was some Greek mathematician who was able to figure out that the Earth is round, centuries before the age of sail, by like digging a pit with a stake in it in one location and then another location hundreds of miles away, like in a whole different kingdom, a whole different country, and like somehow like using the length of the shadow the stick casts at a certain time of day or something, like compared to each other, it's like it doesn't make this wouldn't happen if the Earth was flat.
Why should they have like a different length of shadow at this given time?
Yeah,
unless they're actually on a ball.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Fucking crazy.
Yeah, it's like we're on an enormous curve.
Well, there was a fun sort of debunking the flat Earth thing that was going
I
on
remember
YouTube
this.
for a hot
Yeah,
second.
yeah.
Whereas like these guys basically
Flat earthers, yeah, right?
Yeah, like basically the idea was, okay, put a like a laser beam that's like dead level on the ground, exactly 4 feet up or something like that, and point it over at this location, and then go measure how high up it is at that location. And the variance in that exactness of how high up the beam is supposed to be versus what it is even a short distance away.
And wouldn't you know it?
Yeah, right. And you see flat earthers scratching their heads and going, well, that doesn't make sense. No, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't if the earth is flat.
The light must be bending in reaction to a magnetic solar storm.
You guys know the photo of the columns of creation or whatever it is?
The pillars
of creation?
Yes. So
That's
one of
the
the
one.
things that the James Webb Telescope
Please
is
tell me they photographed that.
doing is retaking photos from Hubble, including the Hubble Deep Field, and I think more specifically the Ultra Deep Field, which was taken a decade later once they had upgraded the instruments.
Yeah.
So they are retaking
This one for reference.
Right.
I think they actually released a picture of that.
For those listening at home, it's the one that looks like 3 space penises.
Yes. That's a beautiful photograph,
Yeah.
incidentally.
With, one of them has a clit massager. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a rabbit. Yeah.
That's a salad mixer.
So yeah,
Battery powered salad mixer.
Right. That's
so
it.
let's go we're going very big here. Let's go very small. Have you guys ever seen this photo?
I don't think I have.
So this is a picture taken in 1965.
Some kind of fetus.
It's the first time a human embryo was ever photographed. It's taken in 1965.
Norman
shit.
Reedus and the funky,
fetus. Yeah. So that is like
That's incredible.
yeah.
Yeah,
And it was
that's-
taken in
that's
1965.
Okay, show me that picture again. What's a little marble he's playing with?
well,
He's got like a little marble in there he's playing with.
That's the scrungus.
Yeah. it feeds the scromulum, which of course falls off during week 8 of pregnancy.
The fetus munches on the scrofulum.
It's attached by a flangle to a kind of dill sack. The nut sack.
What was that for real? That was a Wikipedia article.
Yeah,
wasn't
someone
it?
edited a Wikipedia
Yeah,
article about the horngus of the dogfish is attached by a scrungle to a kind of dill sack, the
Yeah.
nut sack.
So this guy took several pictures of the same fetus through the
as it
life
continued to
cycle.
develop.
Yeah, which is nuts.
I think at the time of that photo, if the Supreme Court has their way, that can vote.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, was that about 3 months? Yeah, it's like voting age.
yeah, 18 weeks. Yeah,
Yeah, nice.
yeah. It's absurd. Some of that shit.
Yeah, the micro photography. I always love electron microscope images.
yeah,
Yeah, that
And
shit's
actually, the
wild.
way that they work still kind of confuses me.
yeah.
But they're so neat, like the water bears that you see
Yeah,
photos of.
Everyone loves water bears. They're so cute.
They're so cool, and they have like a little splurshy mouth that goes like,
Yeah.
you know.
This looks like something you'd kill in Half-Life.
Have you ever
right.
seen like videos of cells dying?
No.
Where the cell wall erodes and then the material just kind of spills out.
Is that how that works?
Yeah,
the
it's
cell walls
really fucking crazy.
The walls fall out?
The walls fall out.
Wow.
You look like you have a photo you want to.
Apoptosis, I think, is what that process is called. This is one of the funniest photographs that in my lifetime that I've ever seen.
Okay.
There's something just beautiful and poetic about it.
Okay, Chris, someone describe this.
For everyone listening at home, this is a photo of
A fat white guy.
It's taken at the Martin Luther King Jr. Memorial Statue in Washington D.C. It's a very powerful memorial if you've never seen it.
What's the quote on the side of that? It's like for
I forget.
an eternity of stone, a pillar of hope, or something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
But in some distance in front of the statue, and the focus of the photograph is a chubby white dude
In a Celtics jersey.
in a Boston Celtics jersey, with a very serious sunglassed expression, crossing his arms in the same manner that MLK is doing, and then in the background between him and the statue is a black man looking over his shoulder at him, like what?
Like, what are you doing?
I love that.
It's really funny.
It's one of my favorite photographs ever.
That's excellent. In some ways, many of our favorite memes are, sort of lessons in photography too.
Like, example?
Like, one. How about the girl who's in front of the house that's on fire?
Oh, yeah. I
And
see
she's
what you're
smiling, and she's like perfectly framed,
Yeah.
so that you can see the disaster over her shoulder, and you just get the feeling she's responsible.
Yeah.
That's like a meme that is. I feel like that wouldn't have taken off if it wasn't just so perfect.
Right.
Yeah.
That's your contribution to this photography episode.
Well,
I mentioned the pillars of creation. I called them the columns of stars or whatever, but
it is really incredible just how just the most, I don't know, like the story that a picture tells just nowadays becomes meme worthy.
Yeah, right.
It's
really just like we've kind of altered the way we process art.
Yeah. Like that the stock photo of the boyfriend with the wandering eye.
Oh, yeah.
Distracted boyfriend.
Yeah. Like the permutations and it really is almost like its own mode of communication, like using an image to describe something relatable.
Yeah, right.
Like the girl walking by is like steam sale, and the guy's me, and the girlfriend is the hundreds of games I haven't played.
Yeah, right.
It strikes me that there's like sort of like remix culture made its way into art. The idea of like taking things and sampling them and combining them, pastiches of other things.
I think it's a way to deal with the massive surplus of information that we receive on a daily basis.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
So we've talked about it before. Like, human beings are not built to withstand this level of info coming in at us, and maybe that's how we.
Which is why we have like goat men taking over our institutions, and people are just brain broken. The humans are not built for this.
There's a particularly well-known episode of Star Trek: The Next Generation called Darmok and Jalad, in which they encounter a group. An alien species who communicate in they
memories, right?
Well, they can understand. Like the universal translator works, but all the aliens will say is stuff like Shaka when the walls fell, or Darmok and Jalad at Tanagra, and it's an entirely referential language.
Yeah,
they're just referring to things from their history or from their culture or from their religious mythos
that relate to whatever is happening in front of them.
Right, but which no one else has any context for. And so Picard and the captain are trapped down on the planet, and he has to figure this out through context.
The universal translator says that they find the replicator to be bussin' for real.
Right.
No cap.
No cap.
Like Darmok and Jalad at Tanagra, Picard likens it to Gilgamesh and Enkidu.
Yeah.
Shaka, when the walls fell, refers to a failure.
Yeah.
All this stuff and he ends up being able to communicate with the other crew in the end.
That's sick.
Or at least enough to tell them what happened.
Can I tell you a photo I really like?
Yes. Oh, it's about time. Jesus fucking Christ.
I have one in my office that I bought in New York because I liked it so much.
It's a cat hanging from a tree, and it says "hang
in there." Now it's this guy sitting on the subway in like the 80s. I love this picture because he's like sitting, like 80s New York, where everything was covered with graffiti and trash, and everything's stuck on the walls. He's sitting in a subway car, right?
Endless trash.
And the photo is taken opposite him, and he's clipping coupons in what just looks like it may as well be a war zone. There's so much shit everywhere.
Yeah.
And there's an ad behind him, and it says "Only in New York."
That's great.
And I just love it.
That's a cool photo.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's just it gives me endless delight looking at that.
I like the photograph of Emmett Till.
Oh my god!
Oh god, remind me what that
You
was.
don't
I
know
can't
what that
remember.
is?
So this is the little the little black boy who got lynched in like Alabama.
Oh Jesus!
And his badass mom put his body out on display and ran it in the newspapers so everyone in America can see it. What fucking horrible pieces of shit.
Yeah.
You know, this is what racism looks like.
Yeah, this is what's still happening here.
Yeah, he was lynched and then his body was thrown in the river. So when they fished him out, he was bloated and he was going to do. They were trying to convince her to do a closed casket, and she said, I want them to see what they did to him."
Yeah.
So it's
Good
like
on her, because that's tough.
Just last year, we put 3 men away for lynching a black man in Florida.
Yeah,
right.
It's still
it's still happening.
It hasn't gone away. It's not just like, oh well, it's not the 60s anymore, you know. Or no, it's still happening. There's still sundown towns.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, and the thing is, people don't have the confidence to form the full mob, but you get 2 or 3 fucking chuckleheads together.
Right.
They'll do it.
Right.
Yeah.
So shout out to Emmett Till's mom for being a total fucking badass.
Absolute badass.
And having the courage to do that.
Yeah.
Because it really forced people to confront what was going on. Much in the same way that like Walter Cronkite forced America to realize what was happening in Vietnam. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's like
people can't react to what they don't know exists.
Correct. That's I think kind of the whole theme of this episode is this is why these things are important.
With Vietnam especially, there's so many photos that came out of that will stay with you for life once you've seen them.
The police chief shooting the
death squad commander.
Oh god, yeah.
Yeah,
right before that shot went off.
And then the oh my god,
the burning monk.
Yeah, thank you. The monk who set himself on fire in protest is just sitting there as he burns to death.
I think you mean that Rage Against the Machine album. Cover. Yeah.
I was just thinking of that, and then whatever one
that is an incredible photo.
Whatever album it was that has the photo of Bud Dwyer shooting himself in the head.
CKY.
That was CKY.
The first CKY
right.
album. Yep.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Can't kill yourself.
I've seen that footage too. It's fucking
me too.
gnarly.
It is gnarly. But also, like, fuck that guy. Didn't he did a whole bunch of shitty.
I don't know. I mean, I'm sure there was a reason that he was like freaking the fuck out.
Oh, he was about to be sent to jail for like embezzlement or something.
Real big. Yeah.
Here's another photo I have in my house, and a kind of photo I like. There's all these photos of like when they were building the fucking cities of today, like 60 years ago or whatever.
Talking about the famous one with the construction workers on the beam.
So we have that one up there. Is all the construction workers having their lunch on the beam?
That was featured in Time's 100 Greatest Photographs Ever.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's like a very famous.
And I'm still not sure if, I think it was, I mean, that's not just how they had their lunch all the time.
No, it was definitely staged.
Yeah.
For that.
But astonishing to look at.
But like that was taken.
Yeah, that's a real photo.
A real photo taken atop the skyscraper.
Yeah.
So,
shit like that is just mind blowing.
How about the flag, the Soviet flag flying over the Reichstag? I know that was a staged photo too, but that awakens Russian pride within me. Like, it's so good.
Yeah.
Yeah. when the Red Army saved the world.
Yeah, quite literally. Yeah, fucking awesome.
How about that picture of Hitler where he's wearing the little short shorts and the long
high socks?
Yeah.
What a fucking pussy.
Yeah, looks like he's about to go play with one of those rigs that you bat with a stick.
Stick in a hoop. I've got a stick in a hoop. Oh boy. Yeah, what a dork.
God,
Hitler was a dork.
He was.
dude had like no chin.
Yeah. I don't understand other than just power why anyone found him good looking.
Yeah, like they
Because
were.
people still do. People
Like-
still like salivate over Hitler.
Is like charismatic. Like
They do?
Yes, they do.
Like,
What are you talking about?
These weirdo Nazis with these Hitler boners, they're for real. They're real.
Yeah.
Are they?
Yes, they are.
I don't know if that's true.
There are
man.
still people that think Hitler was hot.
Oh yeah.
And I think it's just the power. And I think it's also those people are kind of brain broken. But I think that
Oh, Hitler, fuck me, daddy.
tickle me with your little
Oh,
mustache.
fuck me, mein Führer.
For a while there on
Your struggle is my struggle, baby.
because I used to go through a lot of like
Your Kampf is mein Kampf.
And blah, 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 Noctung, baby, and all that.
I used to like going through a bunch of blogs that are nothing but just like DeviantArt cringe.
Yeah.
And one of the trends that was going on for a while, and I don't know if it still is, but was like young girls drawing fan art of serial killers.
Oh, yeah.
Like with
People are super turned on by serial killers, too.
That one I at least get.
That's what I get. I mean, who doesn't
Fuck John Wayne Gacy.
doesn't your
The
heart flutter?
33 kids that he
with the makeup on.
That's who. No, that's who doesn't want to fuck that dude.
That's terrible.
Presumably,
I can't believe you just said that.
presumably that's not who wants to fuck him.
That's one of the worst things you've ever said now.
Is it?
Yeah, that's up there on the list.
Oh, remember
John, it smells really bad in this house.
What
you
the
need
fuck
you
is-
need to clean out your fridge, bro.
I think you got a rat problem.
Honker, honker.
remember when they did him, Jeffrey Dahmer, and
As the Three Stooges.
Yeah,
the
three
yeah.
murderers.
Ted Bundy.
Yeah, whose heart doesn't flutter when they look at Ted Bundy? Come on. So charming. So masculine.
Ted Bundy looks like the idiot penguin from Madagascar. I don't know why people thought he was hot. He has those big eyebrows. He looks like
Yeah.
the dumb penguin from Madagascar.
He's not that good looking. He actually just kind of looks like a normal guy.
Yeah.
Just like a blank slate kind of guy.
A normal guy.
But that's another one of my favorite photographs is when they captured that shot of him at his trial freaking out.
Yeah.
Have you seen the one? He was outraged by something in the process, like he hadn't, because the thing is, there's with people like this, there's all these like vanity issues and crazy shit. They feel slighted.
Yeah,
and all that.
he used the press to his advantage,
Yeah.
which is insane.
But he failed to hide this outburst where he's freaking out and yelling. He's gesturing with his hands, and his hand is up like this, sort of
Yeah.
above his head, mid sort of like just
patting his head
thrashing
and
around,
rubbing his tummy.
and his face. If you see the picture, he ceases to look like a person. He has the mask of rage.
I gotta find this.
Yeah, look it up.
This was which
Ted
one was this?
Bundy.
Ted Bundy.
Yeah, look up Ted Bundy freaking out in court or whatever. You'll find it. He all that charm gone in that one moment, and someone caught it, and that's just amazing. Because
Oh, this one.
yes.
Oh my God, Jesus.
Because you've seen other pictures of Ted Bundy, right? I mean, he just
Yeah.
looks like a charming guy, and that's how he was able to get away with so much shit. That picture, the mask of rage, exceptional. That only happened for a moment,
Yeah.
and the public got to see what Ted Bundy really looks
Yeah.
like.
Is that
those-
side by side?
Those
Yeah.
those shots of like the quick. I think about when Muhammad Ali knocked out Sonny Liston in the first round. There's that famous side shot, and it was like if you watch the video of that match, it's quick. He hits Sonny. Sonny goes down like this, and he goes like he takes his glove and he pounds it up against his chest. And what he said is, Get up and fight, you fucking sucker, which is really funny. That guy catching him do that fucking, I am a badass pose.
That's wild.
On the
Sports photography is its own
dude.
thing.
Some of those we could talk for hours about.
Yeah.
The photo. If this isn't on Time's Top 100, I'd be very disappointed. The photo of the student at Kent State.
Yeah. It is.
The girl collapsed at the body of the student that got shot.
Yeah, one of the four.
Yeah.
Tin soldiers and Nixon's coming.
Honestly, it's photos like that I feel like such a fucking nerd, but
There's the
photos like this change the
colorized
world.
Ali picture.
Yeah.
Get up and fight, you fucking sucker. Awesome.
Yeah, photos like that change the world. They change the trajectory of the world. Now, I don't think it will always be like that. I think we might be on the way out of that era because photographs, you cannot trust what you see anymore to an extent that is so alarming. A researcher can tell that a deep fake is a deep fake for now.
How about that one from it couldn't have been more than 10 years ago, I don't think, of the little African kid with the
vulture
in the background.
That guy killed himself. The guy who took that photo.
Yeah.
Because he was so, like, all the hate that he received for that photo, because everybody was like, why don't you go help him? And,
like, who says he didn't?
Who says he didn't? The obvious
Right.
answer is who says he didn't.
I would tend to assume that after that photo was taken.
And he did.
Yeah.
He did.
Yeah. And also, here's the thing. Why don't you go help
Well,
him? Why
right.
don't you go help
He
him?
was
I
there.
don't see you helping
He was there.
African children.
But he was so
Right.
distraught because people,
they bullied him.
and it's such an important photo. That's a Pulitzer Prize winning photo. It's
Yeah.
and everybody recognizes it. It's,
Yeah. You know what makes me feel bad is there's a photo I now can no longer remember what conflict it came from because we've just been in years and years and years of ugliness. But it's the one of that little kid who was in an explosion
in the back of the ambulance.
in the back of the ambulance.
That was
Covered-
Syria.
Syria.
Fuck, yeah.
It makes me so fucking sad that I couldn't remember where it came
Yeah,
from.
Syria, because it could be one of a dozen places.
And doesn't that say something about the nature of like I just said, photos have had the ability to change the world.
Yeah.
I didn't even remember where that one came from. Something's happening.
Yeah.
We're overloaded with this is just
Bullshit.
too much.
Yeah.
It's too much.
Is it too much? Are we doing too much war?
All right, let's end this on a light note.
Yeah.
Because we only touched one sports photograph.
Okay.
One of my favorite photographs in history
Oh, I might know.
is the Miracle on Ice, the famous Russian defeat of the famous Soviet hockey team.
Not the hockey photo I thought you were going to.
Oh, Bobby Orr.
Orr.
Yeah.
Diving, yeah.
I have photos of me next to the Bobby Orr statue outside the garden. So.
Yeah. Is
Awesome.
it him in mid dive?
Yeah. It's all in brass. It's him in mid dive.
That's awesome.
Bobby Orr. It goes back to Sanderson. Orr! Bobby Orr! No, it's the photo of the Miracle on Ice in which a bunch of fucking college kids beat the mighty Soviet hockey team.
Yeah.
In the medal round of the 1982 Olympics. 82.
I'm trying to remember
82.
what would be the iconic photo from that. I'm trying to remember because I've seen lots of footage, but I can't.
So the famous one is the Sports Illustrated cover. It's the only.
It would have been 82 because the Summer Olympics would have been in 80.
Correct.
okay.
Yeah. So it is the only time in the history of Sports Illustrated. At the time, it was the only time in the history of Sports Illustrated where no other words were featured on the cover aside from the title header and the photo.
Oh, that's great.
That was the only time that had happened up to that point, where because usually they'll put an interview with such and such, or they put shit on the cover to get you to read it. So they took the photo of the Miracle on Ice, and this is taken literally 15 seconds after the buzzer goes off, and Al Michaels does the famous "Do you believe in miracles?" Yes, you know what I mean.
Yeah, it's funny that picture and that cover in particular, the design of that cover proves that they're not exaggerating when we look back and say how important that was, and how mythologized it became, and the stakes of that game.
Right.
That at that time that was true.
Right.
At that time it was so big they said nope, we're not going to put any other words on this.
One of my favorite sports quotes in the long history of great coach quotes in sports is from that moment. And it was in between the second and third period when the U.S. team had just tied the game and they were in competition with the Soviets and frustrating them. And the team was waiting in between the second and third period for their coach to come out and give him a talk. And he sat in his office scrawling notes. And he got down to the last 2 minutes before they have to go out on the ice. They're all sitting there waiting patiently for him to come out and say something. And he comes out of his office and he said, "If you guys lose this game tonight, you will take it to your fucking graves." And then he turns around and he walks to the door and he opens the door to walk out to the box. And he goes, "Your fucking graves," and then leaves. like tell me that doesn't get you
That's
amped
cinematic.
up. Doesn't tell me that doesn't amp you up.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah.
I mean, that's high stakes shit.
Wow. Love that picture. It's great.
This isn't a sports photo, but
But it is a nice one.
it's an awesome one.
Yeah, I'll try to think of a positive photo.
It is.
How about that fucking was it Playboy that took the pictures of Ronda Rousey? It was like more like the body positivity, all the sports guys naked. Oh, and it was Ronda Rousey looking just fucking impeccable.
I'm sure.
You go, Ronda.
So
Muscular and sexy and full of
naked,
full of crazy like hormones and stuff. Like,
so this photo is of a Polish doctor, Dr. Zbigniew Religa. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but that's how it looks.
yeah.
Who is a pioneer of heart surgery in Poland in the and this photo was taken in 1987, and at the time heart transplant surgery was considered borderline impossible.
Yeah.
Like it could be done, but the success rate like the odds of success were so low.
Right.
This is him and his assistant after a 23-hour heart transplant.
Oh, I've seen this.
surgery.
Yeah.
Can you imagine doing any task with focus?
There's
for
the
20
there's the
complete
Ronda
hours?
Rousey photo for comparison
Oh.
with the Olympic tattoo on the hip.
God.
Oh God. Look that one up, guys.
And this
You go, Ronda.
the doctor is no longer with us, but this patient still is. This patient is still alive today.
No shit.
That's awesome.
That's remarkable. How about weird stuff like when science gives us a mouse with an ear on its back?
Oh yeah. Or Dolly, the first photo of Dolly when she came out.
Yeah.
Has science gone too far? No,
No,
it hasn't.
that's not even that weird. Although someday we're gonna get some even weirder shit, I'm sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna.
Wasn't that an episode of South Park? They put a penis on the back of the.
Eek a penis was
Eek a
the name
penis,
of
yeah.
the episode. that mouse has my penis.
Why are you so frustrated over one little?
I think that's a different episode.
Yeah, it is.
But the Eek a penis episode, yeah, that was the idea. Is they were gonna, because Garrison had already transitioned to being a woman and then was trying to transition back, and they were growing a penis on a mouse for him. Which is why you get the line
Flopping around.
"No, stop him! That mouse has my penis."
Oh,
Yeah,
jeez.
you only like see it mostly in shadow.
Yeah,
for the,
it's just
for the episode.
flopping, yeah.
just like jiggling around. But at one point, you do get a good look at it.
Because they could probably only do it once to get it
Yeah,
past
it's
the
one of
censors.
those things.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, you could show penis, but just once and only for 2 seconds. That's the rule. All right, fine, we'll take it.
Anyway.
Anyway,
Is there any other famous penis pictures?
you know, I'm a little disappointed we never got a photo of Double Dick Dude.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Have you seen Double Vagina Lady?
We all heard about her.
Oh okay. Yeah, like one gate, two paths.
Yeah. Right.
And I've looked at it.
And I've studied this extensively.
Extensively. She has two wombs.
Yeah.
You can get pregnant in both of them.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Wait, sure. Okay. So two vaginas.
She's also done porn, so.
well with again. It's like
So,
with
you
Double
know-
Dick Dude. It's like, come on, man, look up. Let's see your penis.
Grimsby, this is weird.
Think about the money you would make. Just do it.
Yeah.
A couple shoots.
Yeah. I respect the. I'm sure we talked about it. On
Mia
this
Khalifa was
podcast.
only active for a few years. Think about the money that woman has made.
probably, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I was gonna
She's
say,
a fucking influencer now.
Is she really?
Yeah.
And I know the double dick dude at least had some great stories.
Yeah.
Remember, my favorite thing about that was someone on Reddit said, "Thank God, God did not waste 2 penises on some prude.
Right.
He actually had stories.
Yeah.
He just wasn't willing to show anybody." And I understand.
I mean, for all we know, there might be some Mormon out there with 2 penises that never talks
Probably.
about
Two
it.
special ones.
2 special ones.
Special ones. Yeah. I'm sure that there's, I mean, based on the fact that there's one guy with 2 penises, there's got to be some more. People probably don't talk that much about that.
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah, it's like one of those. That could be like a weird surprise.
That might. I mean, shit. That would like. It might fucking kill you if you're born with 2 dicks in like China or something.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Or
right.
worship you as a god if you're born with 2 dicks in India.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that sounds like something. That
Oh
sounds like,
yeah, you would definitely get worshipped in India.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that sounds legit.
Yeah, it's like the when Carl Pilkington met the Elephant Baba.
Yeah.
It was just
Oh, yeah,
that
yeah,
guy that he had like a face tumor, but he became known as the Elephant Baba. And,
yeah.
and he was basically like highly regarded.
It's not a tool.
Yeah.
Man, there's so much about India that I wish I knew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you'll never know like everything about India, even if you live there. There are people who religious scholars who with Hinduism as a focus, and
Yeah.
there you never stop learning that religion because there's so many towns with their own patron deities, so many little villages.
There's something super interesting about the way India, like, it's
It's like the old gods from Game of Thrones.
yeah, and like they're very comfortable with like not knowing certainties about things, unlike the Western world that always feels like it has to pin down an exact answer to everything. Right? They're very comfortable with ambiguities, and so you end up with like all kinds of different thought on everything. I think in some ways it's a richer society than we have.
Yeah, because
It lacks a certain orthodoxy.
As far as being a religion goes, it's so ingrained into the culture of the entire subcontinent as to be inseparable in like the same way Shinto is in Japan. There aren't really like, fundamentalist elements that, the religion doesn't necessarily guide politics. I mean, the caste system in India is still a thing that's like taking its sweet time to die out, thanks entirely to the religion of Hinduism.
Oh, give me 2 minutes to talk about this, because this is another thing that really blew my mind. I told you guys about the Indian
I'm
dude
not
I
your
work
cuz forehead.
with. Okay, I told you about the Indian guy I work with, right?
Yeah.
He's like from India, living in England. There exists. I don't know if he's part. I don't know. I can't pin him down, right? But he's like, he tells me stuff that feels like there's an Indian alt-right. There's an Indian alt-right that has its own ideas about all this kind of stuff. So like imagine
So there are like Hindus who
well, like to give you a better idea of what I'm saying.
use the religion to justify homophobia or
No, it's different than that. It's like the West has created this myth of the caste system, and that's not how we really do it in India. That's like their alternate reality, I guess. And the thing is,
Very much like Donald Trump.
it's literally
he's a
written
very good man.
He's very good.
into the
Big orange.
religion though.
Yeah.
It's
But
the Brahmins on top, the Kshatriyas.
But it's just like any other religious ideas where there's a subset of people that will say, oh, no, that's not what that's meant to be. We never do it this way. The uncharitable interpretations of this faith are misrepresenting what Indian life is really like, what Indian belief is really like. And because there is no orthodoxy to control that,
Exactly.
it could be right. That could be the truth.
Yeah, I would like to hear that viewpoint. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, describing it as like the Indian alt-right kind of like.
Well, the thing is, I say it that way because that also comes with a bunch of other stuff. Like,
Yeah.
that comes with some very very frustrated ideas about the legacy of the colonizers, about people like Nehru, who were put in charge of a free India by the British, essentially, you know, and made a career out of trying to remake India as a Western nation, which it resisted. You know, and there's lots of people say, oh, you know, Nehru he hated Indianness and being Indian. He was in love with, you know, he was an Anglophile and attempted to erase our culture. And so I say alt-right only in the sense that, like, I feel like I'm skeptical of a lot of the stuff that I hear. It feels like an alternate reality, and it may be motivated by some anger.
Yeah, it sounds honestly more like a Black Panther kind of thing.
Maybe, yeah.
Like,
maybe that's a better...
Like Nehru wasn't Indian enough.
Yeah.
You know?
So he hated himself. And
Sorry, I
could
ruined your Black Panther party.
Sorry.
Lieutenant Dan, a Democratic India.
Lieutenant Dan.
Lieutenant Dan.
Lieutenant Dan.
He got himself a new leader.
Why are you trying to make them all eat crumpets, Lieutenant Dan?
Yeah, I mean,
they don't got no crumpets here, Lieutenant Dan.
Have we covered?
Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to divert.
No.
Oh, it's okay.
That's so
it's fine.
interesting
I
to
mean,
me.
it's not like you had anything meaningful to add to the photography
No, I really don't.
conversation.
I can think of 3 photos.
Sitting over there with your forehead.
Yeah, you forehead, you fucking forehead.
oh, so you're a photography enthusiast? Name every photo.
All right, gents.
Yeah. Oh, sometime we should do this again, but with cinema shots. We should do this, like your favorite shots in cinema. We should do this again with that.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. Well,
Ooh. All right, we'll take a break, and we'll be back with Who Said It Best.
yeah.
Yeah.
And smoking and drinking.
And smoking and
the
double
first
watch.
part of the show again.
Yeah. We're going to just redo it. All the stuff we just talked about, we're going to scrap.
Okay.
Our next topic is
Presidential farters and which ones were the meatiest and smelliest.
Guys, today I want to talk about wheat.
which first
Just wheat.
ladies
Wheat.
were the best squirters.
I can't believe Radio Shack tweeted the word squirter.
There's only like 12 Radio Shacks left in the country.
Well,
so.
that you know what it is.
Yeah, it's a crypto scheme.
Yeah, but But do you know who's behind it?
Oh, I probably read it and I don't remember.
Banksy.
That guy, from he became a meme a few years back. But he's that guy. Oh, just here in my garage. Here's my Lamborghini.
Yeah, that dude.
Wait, not Ty Lopez.
No,
That's the guy I was thinking of that has.
I know
all
who
the
you're
stuff.
talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, no, not Ty Lopez. No,
Okay.
No, it's this white guy with glasses. And he's like, oh, just go through my garage. Here's my Lamborghini.
Yeah, right.
It's that guy.
It's a guy whose entire life is a scam somehow.
He bought the brand
Right.
for Radio Shack. He's operating that Twitter.
Yeah,
like,
right.
The company itself is like,
But you gotta love that that's happening.
it's. I don't. Because I hate crypto. I hate NFTs and
I do
anything
too.
relating to them.
But I love the idea that like a big national brand on Twitter is just like tweeting nonsense and no one can stop it.
They're not a big national brand anymore.
Well,
though.
no, but they're known, they're recognized.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd just be like if the like a Twitter account for Blockbuster started popping up and saying like what's the deal with black people anyway?
Wow, Blockbuster, you got weird when you were away.
I don't know if you know, but the official Spain branch of KFC has its own Twitter, KFC_ES, I think.
Okay.
It's the official KFC Twitter for the nation of Spain, and all this account does is post fucking incredible memes. They're super surreal. They usually tangentially involve KFC in some way.
Nice.
But it's pretty high level.
That feels in line. That feels in line with KFC's brand strategy right now.
Yeah, but this for some reason the one from Spain does it better than like any KFC anywhere else.
I have to check those out.
For some reason, the whoever's running the Spanish KFC Twitter is an absolute meme lord.
Nice.
He is. Oh my god, these are great.
I'll tell you what. Let's take a break and let's look at these memes.
Yeah.
Yes.
We'll come back with recommendations, what we learned, blah 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 blah.
Hell yeah.
All right.
You gonna start right while I'm in the middle of chipping?
Yeah.
All right.
You got chips all over you.
Straight chipping.
Well, you chipping.
No, go for it.
Yeah.
These are great.
The sour cream and onion.
Dude,
Give me that crisps.
Hers chips are awesome.
they are really good.
And they're also way cheaper.
Yeah.
They're like a half the price of like a Frito-Lay bag.
I remember they used to
I may,
sell these at Watson Elementary, and I used to eat them every day.
I'm a Newman's Own kind of guy myself.
I remember Watson used to sell Wise brands too. Mm-hmm. And that's what they had, the Wise onion rings.
Wise onion flavored rings.
Yeah, which changed my life.
Oh, no. What's up?
I would never be happy again without them.
The Virgin Funyuns versus the Chad Wise onion flavored rings.
They are superior. They're way better than Funyuns. Funyuns are fine,
Funyuns are really good,
but they hurt your mouth a lot.
but the Wise onion flavored rings.
Yeah, they're the best.
It's the way that the ring puffs.
One night I spent a really long time trying to find Wise onion rings in bulk on the internet. This is the kind of thing I do without any direction.
Oh, I'm gonna eat them all.
I did the same thing with like large quantities of Tabasco.
I know
now
that.
and later's with the banana flavor now and later.
Did you guys know there's a new form of chocolate?
What the fuck are you even talking about?
You mean
New form of chocolate?
Yes.
What, they put popcorn in it or something?
No. Like a new kind of chocolate called ruby chocolate. I just found this out the other day from one of the guys I work for.
Like you mean
write that
like dark chocolate, milk chocolate,
white chocolate, ruby.
ruby.
Okay, I gotta know what
I
this
ordered
is.
2 candy bars.
That it inherently sounds really sexy.
Yeah, it does.
I'm gonna bring one of them to work because I promised Tyler that I would try them with him because he told me about it. And I'm like, he's like, "Are you ordering that right now?" And I said, "Yeah, you can't just drop something like that on me."
Yeah.
And then
A whole
like,
new category of chocolate.
so this is something that a specific chocolatier company has been working on patent wise for, I shit you not, like 15 years.
Dude, what are you even telling me right now?
It's like they said
You
it's
mean to
like
tell me there's chocolate science happening that I didn't know about?
this is KFC span. Eisenberger.
Eisenberger.
All right, here.
God, the KFC.
Oh God, I
Twitter
forgot I had
is-
Ronda Rousey's awesome. God,
I'm trying to look in your glasses to see it again. I'm trying to look at the reflection.
so I ordered it because there's only one chocolatier that makes it right now.
Okay, what's their name?
Ruby chocolate is a variety of chocolate introduced in 2017 by Barry Callebaut, a Belgian-Swiss cocoa company, in development since 2004.
Okay,
What?
This sounds tough.
Well, just because he told me
This
that,
sounds
I'm like,
right.
what are you talking about? This is just some dumb meme thing. And then I started researching it, and I'm like, this is not a fucking joke.
They've been doing chocolate science for 15 years or whatever.
So this is legit. In development since 2004, it was patented officially in 2015 by investors and assigned to Barry Callebaut under patent number whatever. It was unveiled first at a private event in Shanghai on the 5th of September 2017. It's marketed as the 4th type of chocolate, alongside dark milk, white, and well, hold on. This is worded funny. It has a pink color. Is the thing. This is what it looks like. I ordered 2 of these bars.
Ooh.
Oh, okay, all right. But what is it? What is it? Is it actually chocolate? It can't be if it's that pink.
No, it is. The chocolate is characterized by a taste that has been described as slightly sweet and sour, which is comparable to that of certain berries, as the chocolate's main characteristic is its acidity. In a comparison of the something between varieties of chocolate, ruby chocolate was rated between milk and white. According to standards set by the FDA in the U.S., ruby chocolate must contain a minimum of technical shit.
That sounds amazing.
The chocolate is made from, quote, ruby cocoa beans. These are existing botanical cocoa bean varieties that have been identified as having the right attributes to be produced into ruby chocolate. While the exact production method is a trade secret, publications note industry speculation that ruby chocolate is made from unfermented cocoa beans of Brazil
Cocoa
beans. Brazil lavados, which can have a naturally reddish pink color. So that explains it. So you can buy them on Amazon. I ordered 2, Wonka-sized bars of this thing.
Okay. How much did that cost you?
Not as much as you think. I mean, it's expensive because there's only one chocolatier in the world.
It's like an $8 bar, $10 bar?
No, I got them 2 for $13, 12 or $13.
Okay, so
not
like
that bad.
$6 to $7 a bar.
Worth it.
Yeah, I agree.
So I ordered some. I'm taking one of them to work so everyone can try it, and I'm bringing one here. So,
no shit.
So we can eat it now. I have to because, like, he told me that, and I'm like, this is. I started reading. I'm like, this is fucking insane.
Can I make a request?
Yeah.
Can that be because Christy's been talking about wanting to come and join us one time? Can that be the time that she's on the show?
Yeah,
Because
absolutely.
I definitely want Christy to partake in food experiments
Yeah.
with us.
So I will bring it. It should be in next week.
Okay.
So I will bring it the next time we do the podcast.
Ruby chocolate.
Yeah. If it's good, I'm buying more. So
It's so weird. It's like, what is this like? It's like if someone told you there was a new kind of I can't think of anything else like it.
well, that's
Chocolate is chocolate.
The reason that this came up is because we were having a conversation about what is the latest food advancement, like a new kind of food, and by that I mean something like the hamburger or the hot dog or
I got one for you. I'm sorry. to
Food
interrupt
served
you.
on a roof tile.
Have you ever heard of Japanese butter candy, or what they call it, something like that? So maybe it's not butter candy.
I've heard of it.
They look like cleverly little made candy sort of arrangements. They'll have layers and textures. Like one side will be all like little prisms, like it's bumpy or triangular, and some are like rounded or whatever. And the idea is you're supposed to eat them in conjunction with a virtual reality video that you watch.
the fuck.
And they are
But that's not like widely.
no. But they're meant to melt at the rate that syncs up with the video, making it like a synesthetic experience.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. That's you want to talk about brand new food things. I've never heard anything like that.
Where do a people like the Japanese have the free time to come up with this shit?
I don't know. I think it's inspired by like nigiri sushi or whatever. It's like got these just different like things wrapped and shaped in weird ways. But the timing of the melt is part of the engineering. Very weird.
So that is, I guess this is going to be a 3-dude thing. I'm going to bring in the ruby chocolate.
We're gonna
and
eat
we'll
ruby chocolate.
and try it out. I will have tasted it by the time that it gets to this podcasting table. So
Okay.
I can report back my initial findings.
You know what? I'd almost prefer you just kind of pocket that one until
Okay.
we all have a chance to taste it, and then we
Yeah.
can discuss.
Don't literally though; it'll melt.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Hey.
Melts into your.
Hey, guys, we have some recommendations for you.
Yes, we do. I got one actually. That's why Ben's gonna tell us.
Ben, go
Or
ahead.
you.
Oh, sure. Go ahead, Ben. I was going to start with you, but, you know,
No, you weren't.
your big forehead's getting in the way.
All right, forehead. What do you got?
Forehead.
I'm gonna start saying that.
Yeah. All right, forehead.
All right. What do you got? Forehead.
I love that.
That's so good. It's so simple.
Do you remember what you actually said? I don't know. I never found out.
When I listen back, I will
I'm
tell
sure
you.
we'll find out.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, sorry.
So anyway, my recommendation, I guess, is not so much for you guys, although maybe it is because I think we should be playing it more. But my recommendation for anyone listening who hasn't played it yet is to play Civilization 6.
Yeah,
buddy.
you've been playing a lot of that.
I have been. Currently, I'm playing as who the fuck am I playing? I don't remember. Mansa Musa, Kingdom of Mali.
Oh, okay.
The Kingdom of Mali? That sounds awesome.
The whole Kingdom of Mali?
And Percocets.
Yeah.
So, like, now that I'm kind of understanding the game way more, I think I'm getting ready to up the difficulty more. Because I've just been going through winning with every civ that I can. There's actually a custom. You can set leader pool 1 and leader pool 2 to whatever you want.
Right.
And I have my first leader pool set to any. It includes the option don't include civilizations that you've won with already.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's a really good thought on their part.
Yeah, so I'm going through. I've won with probably like 7 different civs already, and I'm really doing I'm really retaining a lot about how the game really works.
Yeah.
I'm trying for a diplomatic victory with Mansa Musa because like his whole thing is like trading and faith is kind of a secondary. So I'm spreading a religion called Death to America, and it has a badass scorpion for its logo.
I liked Red Lobster. Wasn't that one of yours?
Was that one of mine?
Or was that one of mine?
I don't know.
I can't remember.
That might have been one of yours.
You did one of them that was teism.
Teism? Oh, yeah, right. It's Christianity, but it's just we worship the tea.
T is for turtle.
I'm sorry.
We always have fun with our religions and our civilizations.
Our names, the city names. Yeah.
Yeah, I think my last game, my religion was called free porn. The one before that, it was penis enlargement pills.
Oh yeah, I remember seeing like one city surrounded by like 8 points of the religion of penis enlargement pills encroaching on them.
Yeah. But like the way I'm really starting to understand like just how effectively everything connects. Because I want a diplomatic victory. Okay, how do I do that? Well, I gotta, the easiest way early on is to become suzerain of as many city-states as you can. Okay, well, how do you get influence points? Those are usually unlocked by policies and governments. Okay, how do you get those? You gotta farm culture.
Yeah.
And that wasn't something I had planned on originally, but now I'm shifting towards so I can accelerate that civics tree and get policies that'll get me influence points that will in turn give me diplomatic victory
It's
points.
culture stuff, and it's also like specific missions for city-states, right? Like those can end up giving you like a whole envoy just for completing a mission.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's important to keep an eye out for those, especially with ones that have bonuses that you can take. Like Mansa Musa's whole thing is like trade routes. So I'm going for the city-states that give you gold bonuses.
Right.
Stuff like that. He gets bonuses for like building on desert tiles. If your trade route for however many desert tiles your trade route goes through, you get that much extra gold.
Oh, that's
from the
sick.
trade. Yeah, so I'm getting like I think I'm over like 200 gold per turn right now is my
Holy
income.
fuck.
So I can just buy and sell whatever I want, which is pretty historically is pretty accurate for Mansa Musa.
Yeah.
I already told you about the time that he went on his Hajj when he converted to Islam.
Yeah.
And
like broke economies.
he just ruined every economy across northern Africa because he was giving away so much gold.
Yeah. You gotta love the idea of being so rich you can just break the economy of everyone around you.
Yeah, he's one of the richest known figures in history.
Wow. I actually didn't realize that.
All things considered.
Now it's the Saudis.
Now it's
Womp womp.
those people.
Funny story. When my grandma was having her open heart surgery, she was at Cleveland Clinic.
This does sound like a fun story.
And one of the Saudi princes was there, also
shit.
having heart surgery, and they rented an entire floor of the. They donated so much money that they were able to rent an entire floor of the Cleveland Clinic so that the entire extended family could stay there.
Oh my God! Like a hotel?
Yeah. And the only reason that they were able to do this is because they donated so much money to the clinic, And they were like tipping nurses $100 bills, and like and we got to see them like walking through the hospital. They were like legitimately just fucking handing out money to people. Like they were.
It is nuts.
Giving money is one of the 5 pillars of Islam.
Yes.
Right.
And God, like, I mean, yeah, the way the Saudis spend money is insane.
Yeah,
Sure.
it really
if you
is.
have that much, it's incumbent on you to spend a certain percentage of it. The more you have, the more you have to give, right?
Yeah.
Like, it just makes sense. It's like, you know,
That's what it was. I mean, they're walking down the hallway handing nurses $100, which
I'm sure
they're not supposed to take. But like, what do you do? Like, you're
You're gonna
like,
say no to Saudi royalty?
yeah, right,
Yeah, right.
Of course not. No, I wouldn't. I mean, fuck it.
No, God, no.
a part of me would feel a little
I don't
demeaned.
turn
by
down
this.
tips at work. I was like, you know what I mean? Like,
Wouldn't you feel a little demeaned?
No.
I feel a little bit demeaned.
no, I would not.
Anyone having that much money and giving it that easily, I think I would feel a little bad.
Why?
Because there's something wrong with me.
Yeah, there is. What are you talking about?
I don't know.
I don't identify with that emotion at all.
I
It's
have a weird pride factor there. That just
no. I don't identify with that at all.
No, dude, I would go around and say, like, dude, this Saudi prince just gave me a fucking Benjamin.
Yeah.
And I got a better story. A Nigerian prince is about to give me his whole fortune. Wow.
I'll have to call you up the next time we get one of those faxes through the fax machine. We get fucking spam faxes all the time like that.
Really?
Yeah, I'll send it. I'll start saving them and I'll bring them in and we can read them together. They're really funny.
I didn't even think about spam faxes.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Are they still happening?
They are still happening. We get one at least once a month.
my
So I'll
God.
bring them in. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
But yeah, so play Civ 6. If you already play Civ 6, play more of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like Civ 6.
How about you, D-? You got something for us?
It's
D
even,
minus.
you can even get it on mobile, so there's no really.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. I'll tell you what I played and finally finished. And I've been playing this game since I was in middle school. Is Riven.
Oh yeah.
Finally finished Riven. I needed a single hint. But I was able to get to the part of the game where then I could continue and finish the game.
Nice.
And in fact, it wasn't even so much a hint as like I understood the main puzzle of that game, which has everything to do with like marbles in a grid and placing them in the right place. And I understood what the marbles were and which ones go where and where they were supposed to go. But I just slightly misplaced one of them.
Yeah.
But I finally beat Riven. So my recommendation, and I think the sale might be over by now on good old games.
Well, Steam sales still going on.
Yeah, but they had like a blowout sale on every Myst game that was like $15 for the entire collection of them. So now at this point, I finished the first Myst game. I've now finished Riven, and I'm in the middle of playing Myst 3 Exile. And I kind of want to recommend it, but I haven't finished it yet. And also, I played it a little stoned, and it got very confusing. Because I think it's the nature of Myst 3. There's like 3 different ages in it, right?
Yeah.
And one of them is like a nature age, where you have to like go through plant paths and walk down like, you're in dirt roads and on vines and stuff.
Yeah.
And the paths themselves are complicated, and the distances you travel are very far because it's expansive. So it's very easy to like click and then be like, okay, how did I get here from there? Like usually one of the things about the Myst games that makes them like a little easier to follow at least is that like when you click and move one, step in a certain direction,
You can go right back.
yeah, and most of what you had seen in front of you is still there, just closer. But like you can click on a path and be what feels like a totally different place. And I just think they were maybe a little bit ambitious with like the scale and complexity of that particular age, because the previous ones weren't that complicated. But that one just like fucked me up.
Yeah.
But I recommend the Myst games, and if it's still on sale on Good Old
great.
Games, yeah, they're awesome.
How about Crystal Key? Remember Crystal Key, the Myst knockoff?
No.
That was a Mac exclusive. It was
really?
Mac Myst. Called the Crystal Key.
Which is strange
shit.
because at least the first Myst you could play on Mac. I don't know about the sequels.
Yeah, I don't know either, actually.
Yeah, Crystal Key was the Mac exclusive response to that franchise.
There, fuck, what was I just? Oh, that studio, Cyan.
Yeah. We talked a little bit about their newest game,
Abduction. Yeah,
Abduction, which you can play in VR.
I've been wanting to try that.
Yeah, it's kind of neat, and actually, it's cool because if you play Myst 3, you sort of see the evolution of like some of the things they introduced to start to expand on what they could do and make it the gameplay more in depth, and so like instead of clicking specifically just through like frozen screens, right?
Yeah,
you move your mouse around and you have a full panorama at every point. You can see in every direction. And so then video animated characters can be in the middle of that panorama, and you're looking around, and it's almost like having the ability to truly look in all directions, except it's obviously a stitched together panorama photo.
Right.
So they're a little bit closer to like actually having like a character point of view in a rendered world, you know? But it's super fun. There was something else I was going to say about it. It's just neat. I like it. Yeah. I like the Myst games. I like the worlds. I like the weird feel of them.
They're eerie.
They are eerie.
They can be very eerie.
And they utilize sound a lot, which is really cool. Like the sound design is very important.
Yeah.
And without a doubt, the best thing about playing them on PC today is like, for example, Riven used to come on 5 CD-ROMs.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you had to, every time you went on the portal things to go to a different island, you had to swap CDs.
Yeah.
Every time, which is infuriating in a puzzle game because you often have to go back and forth from places all the time.
Right.
Now it's, all seamless. Yeah. It's super nice. So if that's still on sale, get the Myst collection. Give them a shot. $15. Sweet.
Yeah.
Not a bad spend for like 7 or 8 titles.
Dope. 2, very quickly. First, I'm going to say I need more people to play Call of Duty Mobile with because I'm back on that hype train.
Yeah.
So if you get the chance, download it, check it out. If you don't like it, well, fuck you. Second recommendation, the main recommendation, I want to recommend an album that was recommended to me by YouTube Music, which is a mixtape from 2012 called 1999 by a guy named Joey Badass, who I am ashamed to admit I have never heard of before.
You know what? I know I'd read that name before, but I'm certain I never listened to him before.
Dude, this fucking and like I've heard some of the other stuff from his other albums. It's fucking really good, dude. This guy's great.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go in order. I take the Jay-Z philosophy of album listening, which is he said in an interview one time that you cannot fully digest. He hates reviewers, music reviewers, because they just listen and throw it out into the world as soon as possible. He's like, you cannot fully digest the scope of an album until you listen to it at least like 6 times.
Yeah.
And I agree with that.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think that's absolutely correct. I think you know if you're immediately into it or not. And then you start to focus, if you are into it, you start to focus in on different things.
Well, certain like musical motifs will become more apparent the more you listen. You just like develop a better appreciation of like what's happening as a whole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this like the album's called 1999, but really the sound is more akin to like 1990 East Coast hip hop. That's what it sounds like, which is probably why I like it so much, because I'm into that thing.
Yeah.
This is a mixtape, so this he was a kid at the time. He's obviously much older now. He was 17 years old when the mixtape hit the streets in New York.
No shit.
And by
Did
word,
it come out in 1999?
no, it came out in 2012.
Okay.
So by word of mouth, this dude was able to, sell his mixtape and get a career. And he's like, 4 or 5 albums deep now. So like, listen to this record because the dude's got bars.
Yeah.
Aside from the fact, the first thing I always tend to listen to is the production value in hip hop.
Yeah.
Because I'm a big thing about the hook, and a lot of times like the beat is where your hook is at. I think about like Ice Cube's "It Was a Good Day," like that boom ding ding boom ding. That's your hook.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be the bar. You know what I mean? So that's what I key in on first. But this dude can rhyme. He's really good. Top to bottom, the album's great. You should check it out. It's a big yellow album cover.
Yeah. With like blue 1999 in the middle or something like that.
Yeah, that's it. 1999.
Yeah.
Joey Badass. Fucking, it's dope. It's really good stuff. And I don't know. I've recommended a lot of hip hop on this podcast before. I would hope you guys trust my taste.
Yeah, every time I listen to one of your recommendations, you're right.
Yeah.
Like every time.
I am definitely going to be listening to stuff
Yeah.
when I get
I think I
home.
listened to the first song that you shared from that album.
Oh yeah, dude, it's so.
But I didn't listen to the second one. You shared a second one as well. I didn't listen to that.
Yeah,
It's great.
I like that second one better. It's called From the Tomb.
Yeah, dope. The whole record's really cool. I have not listened to it more than twice yet, so I will score it eventually later. I always thought it'd be cool to like run a music blog where you follow that philosophy, where you really dive into a record,
Yeah.
and then like a month after it drops, then you review it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, like establish a methodology, be really clear
Right.
about like, here's why I do it the way I do it. Here's why I think that I have a better sense of something after I've done it this way.
Right.
And then write really earnest reviews.
Yeah, I think that would be cool to do.
I think that'd be cool too.
But yeah, 1999, Joey Badass, stylized with $2 as at the tail end of the ass.
Yeah. $2 at the
Ass
end of the ass.
tail.
Yeah, fucking dope, dude. It's really good,
Nice.
gentlemen.
We learned things.
What have we learned?
Not that many.
I learned that Dave's new nickname is Forehead.
Forehead. I'm gonna be saying that all the
What's
time.
up, Forehead?
I fucking love it.
That's great.
You know, what do you got, Forehead?
I think it was "What do you got for us, dude?"
Yeah,
Or
probably.
something like that, and it just turned to "What do you got for
You got Forehead.
It's like you just
I just like it.
Yeah.
Every time it comes up, it keeps making me laugh. I like it. What I wrote down AP photographer.
Yeah, I wrote an AP journalist.
Forgot about the gorilla that almost saved us from 9/11, but didn't.
How can this day get any worse?
Oh my god.
I learned that KFC Spain is top tier on Twitter.
Yeah, they are.
I had no idea.
I just wrote here, world's wackiest war crimes, featuring hits such as "A Freshly Hevered Said."
That's right. Hevered said, I learned that Ruby chocolate exists.
Yeah.
That's a really big.
That's a big thing,
That's
right?
a big thing.
Like,
Brand new food.
Nobody is making a big deal out of this, except apparently me and Tyler from work.
Even the Japanese butter candy I mentioned is not truly new food.
And, and the one other person freaking out is the one stripper in the country named Ruby Chocolate.
Ruby Chocolate.
He's calling a lawyer.
I got a twofer here. I wrote Hitler was a dork, and then immediately under that, I wrote people still salivate over Hitler.
Dude, they do.
I
I mean,
I know
how,
you're skeptical of this, but
I mean, how can you not? A little Montreal steak seasoning, he smells great on the grill.
I'm just
I'm
going to
sure-
type in hello FBI, was Hitler sexy?
you're going to find people find Hitler sexy. It's actually like compulsive. It's like a thing people take to their therapists. It's like, I don't know why it is, but Hitler is sexy to me. It's a fucking, and I know it's like got to do with less to do with what he looks like and more to do with
He looks like the kind
Power.
of guy who saves his toenails.
Yeah. I got to take a deep dive on this dude.
yeah. All right. I learned that I intend to convert to the religion of penis enlargement pills. It's sweeping the nation.
Last thing I have here is there's got to be more dudes with two penises.
There have to be, just on the numbers,
General
right?
principle.
It's like the same.
Well, I've heard of this one actor.
You mean you don't mean Alan Tudyk, do you?
I do.
Funny thing about Alan Tudyk, two of them.
Two of them. The fact that there's a real dude with two dicks means there's more.
Yeah.
It's just biology being the way it is. I refuse to believe there's only one two-dicked man on planet Earth.
Ricardo Doskak.
Yeah, there's some guy very remote
Yeah.
in like South America. You barely anyone around him, and he's got these two dicks, and he can't tell anyone about it.
Yeah.
He's like totally alone on a mountaintop with his two dicks.
Like the Grinch.
And the townspeople say, "Don't go up there. The two-dicked monster lives up there." Yeah. Anyway,
All right, gentlemen, I think that's a wrap.
I think so too.
We will be back next time.
Hopefully within 2 weeks.
Hopefully
again.
within 2 weeks, with Ben, who will be talking about homosexuality.
Right.
And the
In great detail.
the rising influx of LGBTQ plus individuals in the most recent generations.
Okay.
The recent influx of
The gay wave.
beer into my stomach.
Well, if it's honestly, if it's not, it might not be your topic if we have either Christy or Dan on in between, and we got to get both of them in.
Yeah, let's just maybe stay with Christy.
Aw, it's not fun when he's not here. It's not fun.
It's pretty fun.
Oh God, what did I say about you the other day? It was so dark. I said something about you, and I can't remember what it was, and people were like, "Oh, it's not funny when he's not here."
Oh,
Fucking,
Jesus.
what was it? I'll think of it and tell you.
Oh, great.
Probably off microphone.
If Dan comes back, I demand that we do a heist part 2.
I think I do remember. What
I
it was.
demand that we do a heist part 2.
I think that's the idea. The thing I said about you was something to do with just like very casually being like, oh no, it was about why we do the podcast.
Yeah.
And I said, it's just because, when Chris Brady's invariably dead in 10 years, I can look back on our friendship, and it was just very matter of fact.
smile.
Yeah. I think I said when one of us dies, definitely Chris will be the first one. Something like that.
That's good.
And then I think it was Dan. It was just like,
I think it's funny. I don't know.
see, I knew you would.
Yeah, but we will be back. Thank you for listening. We don't really love you all.
No, but we
appreciate the fact that you get to listen. If you're still listening in Canada and New Zealand,
Yeah.
thank you for listening.
Yeah.
I know we had a couple regular listeners out there.
But basically what we're saying is get fucked, foreheads.
Yeah, fuck off, forehead.
All right.
All right.
See you next time.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Later.